Friday Night Hoops presented by Krieger Ford. You're looking live here at Westerville North High School here in Westerville, Ohio, where tonight your Warriors take on Westerville South in the second meeting of the year with the Wildcats. Hi, everybody. It's Rick Cooper, the voice of the Warriors. It's great to have you with us tonight here on the Westerville North Sports Network. This is Friday Night Hoops. It is presented exclusively by Krieger Ford. They are the exclusive Ford dealership of the Westerville North Sports Network. Krieger Ford, 1800 Morse Road in Columbus, home of the Krieger commitment. Best cars, best people, and peace of mind. You can shop at KriegerFord.com today. Thank you to a pair of brothers, Ryan Krieger, class of 2005, and Chris Thomas, the class of 2001, the CEOs of that Krieger Ford location, Westerville North alum, and the title sponsor of our basketball and football coverage all season long. This is the North Star Family Dental pregame show as we count you down to tonight's Middlefield Bank opening tip. North Star Family Dental, a proud supporter of Warriors and Wildcats athletics. Enjoy a free whitening with a new patient exam, cleaning, and x-rays. To learn more, call them at 614-682-6213, or you can learn more online at NorthstarFamilyDental.com. Thank you, Stephanie Dubois, and the rest of the team at North Star Family Dental. Well, it is game number 13 for the Warriors. It's the second meeting of the year between the Warriors and the Wildcats. North won the first meeting 80-51 at Westerville South back on December the 16th with a win tonight. They would sweep the regular season series with the Wildcats for the fourth consecutive season. The Wildcats have not won in this series since their 60-55 upset win in the district semis up at Big Walnut back in March of 2023. South comes into tonight at 6-9 overall. They are 4-4 in the OCC Capital. The Wildcats are led by first-year head coach Trevor Kielmeyer. Kielmeyer is a 1992 Westerville South grad that has spent the past 28 seasons as an assistant coach at Westerville South under Ed Kalo. Kalo stepped away in June after winning 575 games in a Division I state championship back in 2016 in 38 seasons as the Wildcat head coach. When we talked to the 51-year-old head coach Trevor Kielmeyer this week, the first phrase that came out of his mouth in describing this team this season has been Jekyll and Hyde, and there may not be more truth to that Jekyll and Hyde to their season than what has played out the past 10 days. South lost 67-59 last Tuesday on the road against a Dublin Scioto team that had only one league win at the time. The Wildcats followed up the disappointment of last Tuesday night with their most impressive win of the year last Friday night when they won by 23 against a Big Walnut team that desperately needed a win to have any realistic shot of a piece of a league championship. South put 27 points on the board in the opening quarter. They jumped out to a 27-11 advantage. They added 19 points in the second, and they led by 25, 46-21 at halftime. The Wildcats had their best shooting day of the year. They hit 54% of their shots from the field, 28-52. They hit 11 of 22 threes in that win for 50% behind the arc. South had a 24-point advantage behind the three-point line. They hit, 11 threes, and Big Walnut was only 3 of 16 from way downtown for just 19%. What makes the win even more impressive is that Westerville South won despite playing without sophomore Xavier Jones. Well, he was battling the flu. He was an honorable mention All-State selection a year ago. He's a guy that scored 33 in the first meeting of the year between Big Walnut and Westerville South when Big Walnut won the game by 10 points. The Wildcats put 4 in double digits in that win last Friday night. Hassan Kaba really has been playing well of late. According to Coach Kielmeyer, he led the way with 24 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals on 8 of 15 shooting. And Jason Mallory was a stat sheet stuffer as well. 18 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Both the rebounds and the assists were team highs, and he did it on 7 of 13 shooting. Junior Eli Stump led Big Walnut with the 22 points, had 5 rebounds, and had 3 assists. But Big Walnut had a lot of trouble against the Westerville South pressure. Eli Stump turned it over 9 times, which was a game high in that basketball game last Friday night as well. The Wildcats, so they get the big win on Friday night, and they follow it up their best outing of the year with a 50-47 overtime overtime loss about 17 hours later. They trekked down to Chillicothe on a Saturday afternoon. They moved the game up to 2 p.m., and after shooting 54% from the field on Friday night, they come back and shoot just 28% from the field and 18% on threes on Saturday afternoon. The Wildcats did show a ton of resolve in defeat. They rallied from a 9-point deficit in the fourth quarter to tie it and force the extra session. Coach Kielmeyer believes his squad has the potential to be an extremely difficult out come tournament time, and one of the reasons that he is encouraged here on the 30th of January is the effort of his squad defensively. They really hang their hat on the defensive end, is what Ed Kalo used to always tell us, and Coach Kielmeyer says they are trending in the right direction in terms of their team defense. His focus tonight and his focus in the final month of this regular season really centers on two parts of the game. He wants his guys to value the basketball better, and they've got to rebound better. He told us candidly, he said, Rick, if his squad tonight, or any squad, doesn't do those two things against this Westerville North team, they are going to get beat by 50. Westerville North comes into tonight 11-1. They're 7-0 in the Capital. South's win last Friday night against Big Walnut has allowed North to open up a 2-game lead in the league standings. Both Westland and Big Walnut are currently 2 games back at 5-2, and both of those teams are on the schedule next week for Westerville North. They play Westland on the road on Tuesday. They host Big Walnut on Friday, so it really was a big win for Westerville South in terms of the league standings for North. The Warriors, as we said, will play the Cougars and the Golden Eagles next week. North last played last Friday night when they won 78-55 at Delaware Hayes. The Pacers lost for the 10th straight time. North went on an 11-0 run to end the first quarter. They opened up a 26-6 advantage. They shot 54% from the field for the game, and they held Delaware Hayes to just 39% shooting. And the big number, we're going to talk about it with Shan Trustley in just a moment. They enjoyed a 28-0 advantage in terms of points off turnovers. The official stats had North with just 1 turnover for the entire game, while Delaware Hayes finished with 18. And another storyline with this basketball team, you're going to hear Shan Trustley in a moment talk about this as well, is their commitment to sharing the basketball and moving the basketball. They made 30 baskets on Friday night in that win at Delaware Hayes. 23 of the 30 made baskets were assisted. So guys are sharing the ball. It's moving. Defenses are having to rotate, and Westerville North really shooting the basketball well as a result. As we said, 54% from the field in that win on Friday night. Junior Tyson Perkins led the way with 7 of those 23 assists, and it was another big day for Tony Cornett. He has really gotten it going of late, scoring the basketball. He had 8 of 10 shots, 1 of 2 threes, and led North with 19 points. 11 different Warriors scored in the game. Sophomore Chase Toombs led the Pacers with 12 points and 5 rebounds on a perfect 6 of 6 shooting. This one tonight begins a gauntlet of games for the Warriors. They will play 10 times in the final 26 days of the regular season, and these are not the cupcakes that you see on other team schedules. These games are going to include the likes of St. Ignatius tomorrow, Westland and Big Walnut next week, Orange about a week and a half away, Pickerington Central in a makeup game from earlier in the year, and Lima Senior, one of the perennial powers in Division II boys basketball. So it is going to be a very, very tough stretch for this basketball team as they wind things down and start making preparations, you hope, for some meaningful basketball in the month of March. Should be a fun night of hoops from here at Westerville North, and we are thrilled to get to bring it to you tonight here on the Westerville North Sports Network. We take a look at tonight's injury report for Westerville South. Xavier Jones, their 6'3" sophomore guard, is expected to play after missing the past 2 games with the flu. Last Friday and Saturday, he has not played in a game since that 67-59 loss at Scioto back on January 20th, 10 days ago. Did not play, as we said, in the 23-point win against Big Walnut last Friday, nor did he play in their overtime loss at Chillicothe last Saturday. He returned to practice on Wednesday, was only able to go about 20 minutes. That was all he could do. Practiced again on Thursday. Head coach Trevor Kielmeyer expects Jones to play. How effective he is, how many minutes he can play, obviously remains to be seen. Ethan Bennett is questionable as well. Their 6'4" senior starting center has been dealing with some injuries and illnesses. He hasn't missed any games, but he has not been 100%. He's expected to play and would start at the 5. Mackie Dumboya, a backup big, a center, senior, would start if he could not go, or they possibly could go small and play Tayshawn Fisher, a junior guard, could start in his place as well. Also out tonight is Grady Hogan, a 6-foot junior guard with a stress fracture in his foot that he suffered over winter break. And Gary Jones, the 6-foot junior guard, is a Westerville Central transfer. He is out for the final 11 games and all of postseason per OHSAA transfer rules. There is nobody on that injury report tonight for Westerville North. We have a lot coming up on a packed North Star Family Dental pregame show. We will introduce you to tonight's Polaris Parkway Chick-fil-A starting lineups. We'll compare these two teams statistically, but when we come back, we check in with Warrior head coach Shan Trustley, who appears courtesy of Smile Doctors. We'll get thoughts straight from the Warrior head coach. We'll do it after this 60-second timeout. It's courtesy of State Street Advisors. You get ready to watch another rivalry game here at Westerville North. It is Westerville North and Westerville South, and there is only one place to watch it, and it's here tonight, completely free of charge, here on the Westerville North Sports Network. Mark Kavanik and State Street Advisors is the official financial advisor sponsor of the Westerville North Sports Network. Conveniently located at 647 Park Meadow Road in Westerville, Mark Kavanik and State Street Advisors is ready to equip you with a comprehensive evaluation of your current financial state to assist you in planning for your future. State Street Advisors will guide you in formulating a series of achievable steps that can help you reach your objectives. Mark Kavanik and State Street Advisors is the official financial advisor sponsor of the Westerville North Sports Network. Phone 614-895-2584 or visit StateStreetAdvisors.com to learn more. Mark Kavanik is an investment advisor representative offering securities and advisory services through Cetera Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC, a broker-dealer and registered investment advisor. Cetera is under separate ownership from any other named entity. State Street Advisors, wealth creation, preservation, and transfer. Back here at Westerville North, and second meeting of the year between the Warriors and the Wildcats, and get a chance to get thoughts from the Warrior head coach Shan Trustley here on the pregame show. He appears courtesy of Smile Doctors in Westerville. Choose Dr. Reed with Smile Doctors because great orthodontic care is built on trust, experience, and outcomes. You can schedule a free consultation. Affordable and zero interest installment plans are available, and most insurance plans are accepted. You get personalized care that will make you smile. Smile Doctors in Westerville is proud to support Warriors and Wildcat athletics. You can call them at 392-5610 or visit smiledoctors.com. They're located on Maxtown Road and are the exclusive sponsor of interviews with Coach Trustley and Coach Lawrence Pack in the postgame all season long. And Coach, obviously a chance tonight to sweep the season series, rule the Ville with a win. I think 6th straight win it would be against the Wildcats. And I know it means a lot to so many people, but as we look on the sidelines, it means probably a lot to both head coaches, a couple of alum that are leading these programs, which is quite unique as well.
Coach Kielmeyer is a friend, and he's done a tremendous job, not just this year, but, for decades, assisting Coach Kalo and Coach Palumbo and Coach Burris over the years. It's a big game tonight because it's a league game, and yeah, there's that little extra wrinkle in there with it being sort of a Westerville game. So there's a lot of pride on the line tonight, and I know both teams are excited to play this game, and it's always fun. It's always a big crowd, and even though we haven't had school this week, I think the gym will be full.
And you mentioned the rivalry, and also you're up 2 in the league now after Westerville South kind of helps you out, beats Big Walnut. How important is that to kind of keep that with both of those second place teams on the schedule next week?
We understand that we have to take care of business on league nights, and tonight's a league night. It's a Friday night. It's a home game. It's the most important game that we'll play this year because it's the game we play tonight. So the kids, we've talked about this before. They have goals, and they want to finish high in the league, and tonight we have to get that done if we want to make it happen.
The last week, you touched on it, haven't played since last Friday, had several days you couldn't even get in the gym and practice, and you've been doing this a while. Outside of the COVID, let's throw COVID out of there. Have you ever been a part of record snowfalls, record colds like this, and what's the biggest concern you have going into this game because of what you've been through the last week?
It's been an awkward week, but I think the kids have responded really well. The last 2 days we have been able to practice, and the kids have done some, taken some really good reps. The thing that concerns me is it did throw us out of our routine. We were looking at this week as a 4-day week, Monday through Thursday, to get ready, and there were things we wanted to do as a coaching staff, and there were things that the kids wanted to work on that maybe we couldn't because of missing and losing those 2 days. But I think the kids are ready, and it's appropriate that we're playing our sister school tonight, our brother school, so they were in the same situation that we were. It's not like we're playing a school tonight where they got to practice all week or play a game on Wednesday night. So it should be an even playing field, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, Coach Kielmeyer told us there were guys that couldn't get out of their homes, and you and I were talking about that yesterday. Couldn't literally, their streets are still not cleared. Part of the reason we're still not having school. Kind of unique.
Yeah, it is unique, and we've been through this before in Westerville. It's been a while, but we've had some snow like this and some cold like this, and unfortunately some of the neighborhoods get bogged down, and you can't get in and out of them, and so it makes it hard for school buses to get back there. And fortunately, our guys were able to make it to practice this week, and like I said, get 2 good days.
We joke about buying bread, milk, and water. I guess in Westerville, maybe the certain neighborhoods, that's a good thing. But let me ask you about the first meeting. You won 80-51, I think back on December 16th, trailed early, had a big run at the end of the first quarter, then I think, a 23-7 second quarter, and all of a sudden it's 44-17 at half, and the game is over. Just in those first 16 minutes, how'd you do it?
Our chemistry is really good right now, and we can trace it back to that night, the way we shared the basketball. South is a good team. They're a dangerous team. They shoot a lot of threes, and the kids understand we've got to guard the arc tonight, because if they get it going like they did against Big Walnut, they're capable of big things. So, I trace a lot of good things back to that night at Westerville South, and hopefully that continues tonight.
One thing, when we talked to Coach Kielmeyer, he said he didn't like the mental approach of his guys, and I want to quote him. He said his guys made it too personal, is what he said, and it made me think about your guys a little bit. You've been in so many big games, so many rivalry games, just like they have. You were down 11 in a game earlier in the year, and it just seems like there's a constant with your guys, not too high, not too low, and they say you take the personality of your coach, and your whole staff kind of reminds me of that. But how have you gotten your guys to be able to buy into that? I mean, in a game like tonight, there's going to be emotion, but not let the emotion impact maybe your effectiveness.
You're exactly right. I mean, it is going to be emotional tonight, and the kids have grown up together, and they live together with each other. They went to elementary and middle school with each other, and they're friends, and so they want to play well, especially when you have a big crowd. You want to play well in front of that crowd, and so but our guys are focused. They understand the business aspect of it. There are things that we have to get accomplished tonight, and we talk about it. It's a league game. It's the most important game of the year, not because of who we're playing, because it's the game that we play tonight. Sure. It's the game that we have to get done tonight. So the kids do take a business approach to that, and like there is going to be some emotion, and it's going to be a game of runs. It's going to be a game of runs, and so we've got to be ready for those when they happen.
Talking with head coach Shan Trustley, courtesy of Smile Doctors. And Coach, back to Friday just a little bit. The number that jumped out to us, the stats had you with 1 turnover. I think you forced 18. I think the advantage was 28-0 in points off turnovers, which again, you have made your living on. I guess here on the 30th of January, how pleased are you right now with where this team is? We'll call it disruptiveness, what you guys are doing right now defensively.
Well, I'm still in the midst of contesting that turnover with our stat program. It was a loose ball on the floor that ended up a tie-up, and I think we got the possession. So
they charged it to Reeb Snyder, didn't they, at the end? Poor guy.
Yeah, but I think we got the ball coming out of that. Okay. So we did do a good job of taking care of the ball that night, and that led to a high assist assist total, which we're proud of. We're plus 20 for like the last 4 games in terms of assists. We've been over 20, which is a goal of ours. So, the kids have come out and they've been sharp. They understand the task at hand. They do a great job watching film and paying attention to scouting reports. They know their opponents. They know their tendencies, and so the kids have been really, really locked in. And one of the indicators to me is that we're taking care of the ball.
Okay. One of the things I put in your season stats today, a number jumped out to me. I think it's been late. I think opponents are shooting 50% from the free throw line right now. And for the season, not one half, not a bad game, 12 games, varsity basketball programs, 50% collectively. I just wonder how much tired leg. I didn't shoot free throws well, whether I had good legs or bad. But isn't that got to be another example of how you're wearing teams out? And what's kind of interesting to us, 7 guys that you're playing at a really frantic pace, and they're the ones that are still getting tired.
We practice a lot on our free throw defense, and that's a joke. And but the thing is, we want to keep teams off the line, and we want to get to the line ourselves. And we have a goal of 75%. But you're right; our kids play really, really hard, and they take pride in wearing teams down, getting them tired, and that does. It might not happen in the first quarter or even in the second quarter, but you can start to see the wear and tear in the third and fourth quarter, and the kids recognize that, and they push themselves really hard in practice. And all of our kids, I'm proud of the kids who are playing in the JV game right now.
Sure.
They push each other and make our program as good as it can be.
Is there ever a point as a head coach that you're in a huddle with those guys, like a boxing trainer in the corner saying, you've got them on the ropes, like they're getting tired? Do you see that and share that? Has that happened in huddles?
Yeah, we do that all the time, even if we don't see it from the other team. Even if the other team's fine and they're hanging in there, we tell our kids, we implore our kids, say, hey, you've got them. We've got them where we want them. We use the phrase deep water. And we talk to the kids about we're dragging them out to the deep water. The kids recognize that, and they do. They try to keep the energy up and keep the emotion up for the entire 4 quarters.
Finally, before we let you go, just a thought on South. Trevor Kielmeyer asked your season as a whole, and especially since the first of the year, and he's called it a Jekyll and Hyde. They got the huge 23-point win against Big Walnut with no Xavier Jones, and kind of sandwiched in between a loss at Scioto and a disappointing shooting performance, at least against a good Chillicothe team. Can we just stay on the positive? When they're rolling like they did against Big Walnut, they win by 23 without Jones. What are they doing well that jumps out to you on tape?
They're very, very talented, and they have kids who can shoot it in. Xavier and Hassan Kaba and Peebles and Mallory, and then they bring a couple kids in off the bench who make threes, and they shoot a lot of them. So when they're knocking down shots, they're a tough out, and they play really, really hard. They defend, they create turnovers, and so like I said, Coach Kielmeyer's doing a great job with them, and you can see the improvement from the kids, and they're much more comfortable than they were earlier in the year. And a lot of that deals with he's got football players, kids who did fall sports, and so it takes a little time to get adjusted. But it's January now, and they're playing some good basketball.
Any other keys exclusive to tonight that you'll stress to the guys?
Rebounding. We have to rebound. This is a team that they're the same size as we are.
Right.
And so we have to hold our own on the glass, both ends, defensive and offensive rebounding. They're going to shoot a lot of threes. There are going to be a lot of long rebounds. We can't give them second chances. So we want to get that one and done. We want to rebound that first missed and get it to the other end.
Coach, always appreciate your nuggets. Good stuff. Best of luck tonight. And the only bad news, win or lose, is you got to talk to us again tomorrow afternoon. We're doing it again and loving every minute of it. Appreciate your time.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
That's head coach Shan Trustley here on the North Star Family Dental pregame show. That interview brought to you by Smile Doctors in Westerville, where you can get personalized care that'll make you smile happy. Smile Doctors is proud to support Central Ohio high school sports. Call them at 392-5610 or visit smiledoctors.com to schedule today. We'll take a break. The Chick-fil-A Polaris Parkway starting lineups are coming up next. It's North and South. This is the Westerville North Sports Network. And transfer. Mark Kavanik and State Street Advisors is the official financial advisor sponsor of the Westerville North Sports Network. Conveniently located at 647 Park Meadow Road in Westerville, Mark Kavanik and State Street Advisors is ready to equip you with a comprehensive evaluation of your current financial state to assist you in planning for your future. State Street Advisors will help guide you in formulating a series of achievable steps that can help you reach your objectives. Mark Kavanik and State Street Advisors is the official financial advisor sponsor of the Westerville North Sports Network. Phone 614-895-2584 or visit statestreetadvisors.com to learn more. Mark Kavanik is an investment advisor representative offering securities and advisory services through Cetera Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC, a broker-dealer and registered investment advisor. Cetera is under separate ownership from any other named entity. State Street Advisors, wealth creation, preservation, and transfer. Well, back here at Westerville North. Warriors will play again in this building tomorrow when perennial national power St. Ignatius comes to town. 3:30, the Middlefield Bank opening tip. 3 o'clock, the North Star Family Dental pregame show. We'll have that one for you completely free of charge as well. Why don't we take a look, Ricky Cooper, at tonight's Chick-fil-A Polaris Parkway starting lineups. Chick-fil-A Polaris Parkway, 2 locations now. Chick-fil-A's popping up everywhere. They've got delicious chicken bacon or sausage biscuits and hash browns to help you get your day off on the right foot tomorrow. Chick-fil-A Polaris, 1515 Polaris Parkway, and the new Westerville location at 680 Polaris Parkway. They are proud supporters of Warriors and Wildcats athletics. We will start with the visitors from Westerville South. The Wildcats come in at 6-9 overall. They're 4-4 in the OCC Capital. They come in. They have lost 1 in a row. They've lost 5 of 7. They are 2-5 on the road this year. Their point guard tonight, it will be Xavier Jones. It'll get the start, 6'3 sophomore that has missed the last 2 games. Kind of an interesting nugget. He was second team in the league last year, but still made honorable mention All-State when he averaged a team best 13.9 a game and shot 37% from the field. This year, 18.2 points, 4.9 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 1.3 steals, and 3.9 turnovers. All of those are team highs. He's shooting 40% from the field and 25% on threes. Had a couple sisters that were really good at Westerville South, talking about Anissa Jones, who was 3-time first-team OCC and the 2019 OCC Buckeye Player of the Year. Played 2 years at Ohio State, played 2 years at Dayton. Older sister Layla Jones, a 23 Westerville South grad, was a 4-time starter, 4-year starter, 3-time all-league selection, and first team in the league as a junior in 22. Averaged 12.5 points and 5 rebounds over her 4 years at Westerville South, playing her junior season this year at Fairmont State as a junior after playing a season at the University of Akron in 2023-24. The 2 guard tonight is Brandon Peebles, 5'9 senior, averages 9.8 a game. He's their best shooter, 28% on threes, 25 of 90 coming in, but he has had his struggles against this Westerville North defense. Hit 2 of 5 threes, had 8 points in that first meeting. Last year, 5 points a game in the 2 meetings with only a 19% field goal percentage and only 17%, 2 of 12 from way downtown. Jason Mallory has been giving him good minutes. He'll wear number 11. He'll start at the small forward, 5'10 senior with an offer on the table from Defiance College. Hit 4 threes early in the year in a big win at Pickerington North. Coming off that big Walnut game where he had 18 points and 5 rebounds, 5 assists on 7 of 13 shooting. The power forward has emerged of late as well. Hassan Kaba, outstanding football wide receiver, took a visit this week to the NCAA Division II Ashland for football. Special mention in the league last year in basketball. He's a 3-year varsity kid and a 3-year starter. averaging 14.3 points a game, which is second best on this team. And Ethan Bennett, as we said, battling some illness and injury. He will not start tonight. They will go instead with one of the first bigs off the bench, and that's Mackie Dumboya, the 6-foot senior, is averaging 1.1 points and 2.6 rebounds. Head coach Trevor Kielmeyer, 51 years old, 28th year with Westerville South, got into coaching first 2 years at Newark, of all places. Interesting nugget. Was an assistant with Jeff Quackenbush there under Gary Walters, and he is a teacher at Westerville South, 92 South grad that was part of a team with Jermaine Geis in 1990 as a sophomore that won the first district championship in Westerville South history. Quick look at tonight's Westerville North starting lineup. Honorable mention All-State Tyson Perkins at one guard, 10.7 a game, team best 4 assists, team best 3.5 steals. The two guard is Elijah McCree, an offer from NCAA Division III Marietta. The Warriors' leading scorer at 19.6 a game, team best 3.5 steals, team best 38% on threes, and a team best 42 makes behind the arc. Jacob Medhani will start at the small forward, 6.9 a game, is 5th best on this team. He has a 5.5 to 1 assist to turnover ratio. Tony Cornett has had it rolling of late. Career high 24 2 games ago in that big win against Aiken at Ohio Dominican. Followed it up with 19 last Friday night against Delaware Hayes on 8 of 10 shooting for the year. 14.5 per game, 4 rebounds, 53% from the field. And another guy emerging of late, Damian King, hit a big 3 in that Hayes win last Friday night for the year. 8.1 points, and at this point has surpassed Tyson Perkins as the leading rebounder on this team. 5.1 rebounds a game, 52% from the field, 29% on threes, and always good when your bigs can hit the free one, 70% at the charity stripe. The Warrior head coach is none other than Mr. Shan Trussley, closing in on 200 career wins. He's in his 13th season as the Warrior head coach, 4th basketball coach in North history, 195 wins, 107 losses. He wins at a clip of 65%. 37th year in coaching here at Westerville North. Waited his turn just like Trevor Kielmeyer did. Kielmeyer, 28 years, 27 as the JV coach at Westerville South before he got the head coaching job. And Shan Trussley spent 24 years as the 9th grade JV and varsity assistant coach. He is assisted tonight by Lawrence Pack, Lamont Tillman, Kylie Gessner. The JV coach is Ben Pack, and a really energetic, good freshman coach, Jalen Hearn, leading that program with the help of Amal Brown. Those are tonight's Chick-fil-A Polaris Parkway starting lineups. We throw it up next with the Middlefield Bank opening tip. It's Westerville North, Westerville South. This is the Westerville North Sports Network.
I let 6 of my employees go last year.
I let 5 employees go in 5 months.
In fact, just last week I let 3 go.
A lot of employers are letting their employees go to serve their country in the National Guard and Reserve. The Guard and Reserve has become more important than ever, making up 52% of our military force. So join the troops.
I haven't had to let any of my employees go, but when the time comes, I will.
Support your employees in the Guard and Reserve. A message from employer support of the Guard and Reserve and Ad Council.
National anthem for the best nation in the world. I'll stand for that national anthem. Westerville North has won 5 in a row in this series. They have won 7 of their last 8 in this series. Last time they did not come out on top. You got to go almost 3 years ago. They lost in the district semis to this Westerville South team, 60-55 over at Big Walnut in a district semifinal. Current standings in the division: North 7-0, Westland and Big Walnut 5-2. 2 2 games back. This Westerville South team 4th at 4-4. Scioto 2-6. Worthington Kilbourne 2-6. And Delaware Hayes is 1-6. Current are the standing schedule tonight. That's the word I'm looking for. South here at North. Delaware Hayes at Worthington Kilbourne. Dublin Scioto at Westland. When you have a league night, 7 teams in a division, there's always one team that is off. And the team off tonight is Big Walnut. They are not playing anybody even non-league tonight, but they will play St. John's Jesuit tomorrow afternoon at 4:30. We're back with you tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon, matinee, 3 p.m., the North Star Family Dental pregame show, 3:30. The Middlefield Bank opening tip, St. Ignatius in town. Back with you next Friday when Big Walnut comes to town, and our final regular season broadcast will be Tuesday, February 10th, when the defending Division I state champs from Olentangy Orange come here. So the 2 losses for Westerville North from a season ago, back-to-back early December. They lose at Orange on a Tuesday. They lose at Ignatius on a Saturday. They'll have a chance over the next 2 weeks to avenge both of those losses. I can tell you with 100% certainty that the postseason run to a Division II state championship will start on Monday, March the 2nd in a district semifinal. It will be in this building. The district championship games will be on Thursday, March the 5th, and depending on where Westerville North signs on the bracket, they will play at either Mount Vernon Nass or they will play at the Field House, and that will be up to Shan Trusley because they in all likelihood are going to be the number 1 ranked team in the district, so he can sign his name wherever he would like. Tonight's opening tip is brought to you by Middlefield Bank, your locally owned financial partner, proudly serving Northeast, Central, and Western Ohio. They are a full-service community bank with a variety of banking and lending solutions. Learn more at middlefieldbank.bank or stop in their new Westerville office at 450 Altair Parkway and see how MB can be your everything bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. The guy that will throw the basketball up tonight, throwing the basketball up. We can get our clipboards ready. It'll be Connor Kern, a former standout basketball player at Pickerington Central. I think he would have played with Jerry Francis, wouldn't he have, Coop? Before Eric Kruger took over, he was really good before an injury. South wins the opening tip, that middle field tip, as Peebles got a good look on that right baseline, but unable to knock it in. Rebound Warriors, McCree with a good look, and he can't finish. Medhani an offensive rebound. Here's Tyson Perkins, who hit a 3. Tyson didn't do much scoring in that game against Delaware Hayes, but affects the game in so many ways. 3-0. Warriors set up pressure underneath Peebles, maneuvering, maybe walked, no call, but an offensive rebound for the Wildcats. Underneath, it's Dumboya. Dumboya now to Hassan Kaba, standout wide receiver, as Westerville South will set things up. You would think that they're going to want to chew up clock here and make Westerville North sit down and play defense. Long possession here. This is Hassan Kaba. Kaba now to the left side, and number 11, that's Jason Mallory, who had a good night in that win against Big Walnut. Peebles, left-handed pass to Dumboya. Long possession here. Over a minute into the lane. They nearly turn it over, but deflected out of bounds off of Tony Cornett. It'll stay here. South in at 6-9, 4-4 in the league, as we said, 4th place. Westerville North 11-1, 7-0. Win tonight, they would go to 8-0. Good backdoor by Kaba. Got Jacob Medhani trailing the play, and Hassan Kaba, who has been scoring more of late, career high 24 points in that win against Big Walnut last Friday night. The first points for the team in red and white, and a deflected pass will keep it here. Boy, if you're Westerville South, I mean, this doesn't take a doctorate degree to figure this out. But everybody who has played this North team, minus Cincinnati-Aiken, you got to get off to a good start. I mean, some of these teams just developing holes, and that one there, some miscommunication, and Tyson Perkins Boy, that matches the turnover total from the win on Friday night at Delaware Hayes. Had one turnover in 32 minutes, and Chantrussley said, I don't even agree with that, as we went back to the tape and watched it. So a turnover, and the Wildcats with a chance to possibly take their first lead. Right baseline, Kaba wasted no time as he catches and shoots. Hassan Kaba, his 20th made three of the year, shooting better than 40% from way downtown. They tried to dump it down to Damian King, who was triple teamed and probably lucky he maintained the possession. McCree ran into an offensive player right side. Tyson Perkins hits another three. So Tyson Perkins with 6. He leads Westerville South 6-5 to the other end. Peebles took it strong. So Brandon Peebles taking it to the rack. 9.8 points a game. Skip pass here. Cornett has played well of late. That one too strong. And Damian King, an offensive rebound. Underneath, they go to Cornett, who went to the left hand and put it in. Tony with his first 2. 14.5 points coming in, and what? They're going to say a foul here or a deflection? They're going to call it a foul. And the foul is going to be charged to Jacob Medhani. First on Medhani, first on the team, first on anybody wearing a jersey tonight for either team. 3 minutes in, capacity crowd here at Westerville North. This facility seats about 2,000 people. 50th year of existence as Kaba open again, and this one off the mark, and on the backside it's Medhani who grabs the defensive rebound. McCree had it, lost it, ball on the floor, players on the floor, into the hands of Tyson, underneath Damian King, a lot of contact, and King fouled. He'll shoot 2. Couple of guys in the vicinity. We'll see who they charge this to, Ricky Cooper. And the guy they're going to charge it to apparently is 22. That's Mackie Dumboya. Dumboya, as we said, if you're just joining us, in the starting lineup tonight is Ethan Bennett, their everyday 5-man. Unable to at least start. It'll be interesting whether or not he can give him minutes. Xavier Jones, their honorable mention All-State performer that has missed each of the last 2 games. Big Walnut and Chillicothe is in the lineup today and has the basketball right here. He's going head-to-head with Tyson Perkins, and Tyson tried to jump and anticipate. Kind of bumped him, impeded the progress of the offensive player, and Travis Burwell says that's a foul. It'll be charged to Tyson Perkins. It's his first and the second on the team. Connor Kern, we got caught up in his bio. The referee, 3 years as an official. Travis Burwell, as Kaba got loose on that inbounds and rammed it in at the other end. So Hassan Kaba with 7 of Westerville North's 9. The Wildcats lead again as Tyson Perkins right back at him at the other end for 2. Tyson has 8. And Kaba 17 of the first 19 in this game. A 3 by Peebles, was it? Nope, it was Mallory. Went halfway down. Cornett into the lane. Let's count the basket, and he was fouled. Good strong take by Tony Cornett. He has done it against bigs all season long. Did it against Aiken when he had that career high. But I think there, Tony Cornett realizing there was nobody in that lane in transition that could match his size and athleticism. And there was nothing fancy about it. Took it right into the teeth of that defense. Basket is good. Second field goal for Tony. He's got 4. And Westerville North with their biggest lead of the game as Cornett puts it in. Give him 5. And the lead is up to 4. It's 13-9 as we hit the midway point of this opening quarter. There's a steal by Tyson. Tony to the other end, 2 more. So 15-9. Boy, if you're Trevor Kielmeyer, do you think about a stoppage here? Can't take them home with you, and this thing can snowball in a hurry. Good play by Xavier Jones. Extended and laid it in. Defense anticipated pass. Jones picked up his dribble, was under control, and kind of lunged to the rim. O'Canny underneath, put it up and in. Dez had a career-high 7 in that win against Delaware Hayes on Friday night. Hit a 3-point shot as well, 3 of 4 shooting, as Jones straight away just hit a 3. So Xavier Jones, a 3 and a 2. Makes it a 1-possession game. A lot of contact there. Boy, that should have been called about 2 dribbles earlier as the defender behind the play set a forearm riding him to the rim. And that guy riding him to the rim was Tayshawn Fisher. First on Fisher, third on the team. The benefit of them not calling it early is it gives them foul shots because they say he was in the act of shooting. And Elijah McCree, pretty darn good shooting the free throws. 91% at the stripe officially. Third on the team, but the guys in front of him are like 3 of 3 and 5 of 5. McCree now 31 of 33 at the charity stripe this year. And 2 free throws makes it a 19-14 North advantage. Nate Roman at the table. He'll come in at the next stoppage, and an elusive move there by Xavier Jones. Changed speeds, changed direction, and able to finish with the left hand. 2:40 to play. Entertaining first 6 minutes of basketball. Left baseline, Cornett came up well short, and the ball went out of bounds, and it went out of bounds off a Wildcat. It'll stay here. Those are the kind of plays when you're playing against the Division II state champs. You got to get those rebounds. The rebounds have been an issue for Westerville South. They come in -4. Westerville North undersized, still +2 as a team, as Cornett extended no good. O'Canny got an offensive rebound, and the big fella cleaned up the trash and put it in. Desmond O'Canny with 4. To front of that pressure with Tyson Perkins. They break it here. Dumboya, right baseline, it's Jones. Steps through, underneath. Dumboya missed it up close. Offensive rebound, double teamed. Is Roman there, and they're going to call a jump ball in the possession arrow to Westerville North. You want me to say it again? You got to get that rebound at the other end, and if you're Mackie Dumboya and Xavier Jones does all of the work for you right there, gets 2 to guard 1, and then drops it off, you have to make that shot. You're playing against a team that beat you by 29 points. They're the defending Division II state champs. You have no margin for error. Left baseline, it's Cornett. His 3 on the rim, no good. Batted around and into the hands of Tayshawn Fisher. Warriors, one of the unique teams. They'll press even off of makes, and that one deflected out of bounds off of Elijah McCree. It's almost unheard of, isn't it, to press off of makes? Usually it's we'll press after misses, I should say. You'll press after a make, you'll press after a ball goes out of bounds, you'll press after a foul, but Westerville North will press you even after a miss offensively. There's a steal and a foul. Tony will get 2. Westerville South student body getting restless. Good crowd here tonight. They'll charge it to Xavier Jones. It's his first, team 4th. And Tony Cornett to the line to shoot 2. He's only a 53% free throw shooter. That's the bad news. The good news, as the first one goes up and in, is that it is improving. Got off to a really difficult start. Cornett now with 7. Warriors already shooting their 8th and 9th free throws of this game. Second one, good again. Tony Cornett with 9 and a substitution. Who is that? That's Damian King back in. Might give us a minute to give you the numbers to back that up. Tony, 15 of his last 24, 63%. Not great, but 12 of 27 for 44% to start the year. Boy, that was nearly a turnover. Kaba saved it in to avoid the turnover, a lot of contact. Trevor Kielmeyer wanted to foul that wasn't called. And Nate Roman, a pretty good look on that right wing, but couldn't finish. Kaba strong. The basket went in, but Connor Kern says, and they're going to ring him up for an offensive foul. Trevor Kielmeyer and longtime assistant Pat Palumbo. Can't believe it. Palumbo is on fire on that Westerville South bench. They charge it to Hassan Kaba, his first, fifth on the team. No free throws on the player control foul. Minus the COVID year, Pat Palumbo has been on that Westerville South bench the entire Ed Kalo coaching career, and now with Trevor Kielmeyer as well. 23-16. Biggest lead of the quarter. Sits at 7, under a minute to play. Right side, Kaba stepped into a three, no good. Nate Roman grabs the air ball. 40 seconds to play. We'll see what Westerville North elects to do here. Do they try to play for one? I don't think so. Medhani underneath. Saved it to Damian King. Back to Medhani. Now under a half minute. Medhani sees it, and I think they will. I think they would have scored if they had an opportunity in the first 10 or 15, but now trying to play for one. Tyson Perkins working against Peebles. Attacked and retreated to create a fresh 5 by Connor Kern. Into the lane. Tyson laid it in for 2 more. May have scored too early. 10-point game. 2 seconds to play. 3 at the other end would have counted. Out of the hand of Tayshawn Fisher, but it comes up off the mark, and so the final points of the quarter out of the hand of Tyson Perkins, who had 10 points in that first quarter, and Westerville North the 25-16 lead at the end of one. So Warriors think, 26 on the board is what's in my head in that win against Delaware Hayes in the first quarter on Friday night, last Friday, when they went on an 11-0 run to end the quarter, and they put 25 on the board here, and they lead, biggest lead of the game for either team in a quarter that had 6 ties or lead changes. Well, it is Friday Night Hoops. It's presented by Krieger Ford. We say thanks to Dr. Zach Steffen and the team at Steffen Family Dental in Westerville. They're proud supporters of Central Ohio High School sports, 54 Westerview Drive in Westerville. Visit SteffenFamilyDental.com to learn more. Big thank you to the Meyer Cake Girl, or the former Westerville Meyer Cake Girl. That's talking about Alexis Coleman. Did you know Alexis recently launched her own business? They call it Cake Coven. It's a bakery that specializes in custom cakes, and in particular buttercream designs. If you've got an idea for a cake, she can make it a reality. Look at some of these designs. We had the Toy Story cupcakes you see at one of our events. SpongeBob, K-pop, she can do it all. She's locally owned. She's proud to support Westerville High School sports, and there's a promo code on your screen right now, WNBB10. You put that in at the checkout, and she'll take $10 off your order. Thank you, Alexis Coleman and Kate Coven. Proud to support tonight's broadcast. Underway here in the second quarter. 25-16. Wildcats trailing by 9 with the basketball. Tayshawn Fisher to Mackie Dumboya. His younger brother, Abu Dumboya, has moved up to the varsity as well. Did that mid-season. Could see time coming off the bench as they force a tie-up here, as Elijah McCree able to slap it loose from Hassan Kaba. Kaba asking for the foul, kind of has his hands out to say exactly what was that, but didn't get anything from Connor Kern, but a jump ball, and the possession arrow favors Westerville North. So the Warriors, the basketball, and a 9-point advantage. McCree got the step, and I think lost it off his thigh. I think he thought he was fouled as well. If he wasn't fouled, it clearly went off of his right thigh. Here comes Ethan Bennett. So Bennett going to give it a go and try to give them some minutes. Comes in averaging 1.4 points, 2.1 rebounds. Has been the starter at the 5 spot, but tonight they go with Tayshawn Fisher. I like the break of the pressure, the way they did that there underneath. It's Bennett off of the miss by Xavier Jones. Kind of that Bryce Drew, Valparaiso, whatever you want to call it. I like the idea of a pass inbounds and then somebody coming alongside of him, running up the floor that you can drop it off to, running at full speed. Right side, Kaba, another good look. Rebound, Nate Roman. I hope that makes sense. Get it inbounded and then send a ball handler up at full speed from behind, and you hand it off to that young man. I'm not saying it's going to break the pressure every time. North is first in 21 turnovers a game, but it gives you a chance if you can complete that first pass. Foul is here, charged on Xavier Jones. Number 2 on Xavier. First on the team here in the quarter. Tony Cornett back to the line for 2. Tony took a couple of visits to Ohio State earlier in the year. One of them during a football game. He does not play football, but Ohio State very intelligently said, let's bring basketball players on campus and let them experience Ohio State football. I think it was the Penn State game that Tony was there. It's 2 more free throws, and Tony Cornett working on an 11-point first half. Tony Cornett, 11, Tyson 10, 21 of Westerville North's first 27, and the lead the first time it hits double digits, 27-16, and a miss there by Mallory on that left baseline. McCree tried to attack, dropped it off to King. Again, did a good job just to possess it underneath Nate Roman, and Damian lost the basketball, fortunate to get it back again. Dangerous pass by Roman, 15 feet away, Tony no, and another opportunity. This is exactly what Trevor Kielmeyer was talking about, and Medhani no, and finally a defensive rebound. Boy, 4 opportunities for Westerville North there. If you're Shan Trusley, you'd like to see one of them go in. Trevor Kielmeyer kind of fool's gold on that stop, saying we got away with it there. As he told us when we talked to him on Thursday morning, he said, Rick, if we do stuff like that right there, we're going to get beat by 50. The foul here is charged to Tony Cornett. It's his first. Team first. Tony did a good job on one of those passes. I think it was Nate Roman, right wing, the top of the key. He doesn't meet that basketball. Somebody in red and white is hanging on a rim at the other end. Always got to teach young players. You can't just stand there, especially against teams as athletic as these 2 teams. You have got to come to the basketball and meet it. Roman didn't throw his best pass ever. And Tony Cornett kind of saved his rear end by taking a step towards the basketball to grab it. Second one is no good. And a rebound to Kaba, who got an offensive rebound, and he dropped it in. So Hassan Kaba with 9. First team all-league wide receiver, 20 catches, 319 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Had 42 tackles on the defensive side in the secondary as well. And Trevor Kielmeyer doesn't like this call. It's going to take McCree to the line to shoot 2. And they're going to charge the foul here to 20, and that's going to be, I don't have a 20 on the card, Ricky Cooper. We had a picture of the book. Somebody took a picture. I do not have a 20 on the card as Elijah McCree puts the first one in. Quiet start for Elijah McCree. 3 points in this game. 91% free throw shooter. Got 2 of the best in Central Ohio. Peebles at 89% for Westerville South. Is there a 20 on the floor right now? If there's a 20 on the floor, 20 on the floor for Westerville South as McCree put it in. Ricky Cooper is telling me he's not in the book. Now they got a steal underneath Damian King, who put it up and in. First 2 for Damian. 31-18. The lead is 13. I think they just found him in the book, so it's not going to be a technical foul. Had he checked in and not been in the book, they would have got him. So we had a foul on a young man that we did not have in the game. Abukar is who it is into this game, and we have no idea who that young man is. Ricky Cooper will try to find some info online and tell you full name on that young man. Right side now, it's Jason Mallory, top of the key Peebles, one of the best shooters in the history of this program. They've got some year-to-year shooting drills that they keep numbers on, and he has shot them about as well as anybody else. The Geist kid, Pedroza, others, as Cornett goes to the rim and extends for two more. So Tony Cornett with a 13-point first half, and the lead is 15 here. This is a danger spot and probably merits a timeout to talk about it. Trevor Kielmeyer going to let him play through it. Into the lane, Xavier Jones, and why not? Put it in his hands. He had 15 and 3 rebounds, 2 assists on 5 of 10 shooting in the first meeting, and Tyson Perkins got the step and put it in, and Trevor Kielmeyer, Shan Trusley is going to call the timeout. So a dozen for Tyson Perkins, 35-20 is our score. Boy, it's one thing to get beat. I don't know if that was Peebles out there, but Trevor Kielmeyer, Ed Kalo said, well, that's a hard spot. He's a willing defender is what they call Peebles, but to go out there and try to deal with Tyson Perkins, mano-y-mano, good luck, right? But what would frustrate Kielmeyer, would frustrate Ed Kalo about that possession is there was no help. In basketball, what they hang their hat on is not necessarily, they want to stay in front of guys, but somebody should have been there 2 passes away to help Brandon Peebles when Tyson Perkins got the step. Ilyas Abukar is who that young man is. We have no idea who he is, to be totally transparent. Quaker Steak and Lube, proud supporters of Central Ohio High School sports. Best place in town for hot wings, cold beverages, the hottest sports action. Lyra Drive in Columbus. Thank you to Jason and Glenn Biddlestone and the team at Glenn Sports Barn. They give you a private facility for your private party that can include basketball, dodgeball, kickball, along with seating in a whole separate area. No balls going into the nachos for 75 people. Fancher Road in Westerville. It is time to start booking those. It was time about 3-4 months ago. How do you get the ball started, Rick Cooper? You go to glensbarn.com and there's a contact option. Send a message. Glenn and Jason, outstanding guys that will take good care of you and give you all the details to make your event as special as it can be. Back to basketball. Mackie Dumboya out there to Xavier Jones, as we said, older sisters that were elite in this program, Anissa and Layla, and they just punched it loose from behind. Tony had it, lost it, got it back, and just got too big and too strong for everybody in red and put it in again. Tony with 15. The lead is 17. Wildcats desperately need to put together a couple of baskets here. Xavier Jones into the lane. No, but he'll get 2. And they're going to get Tyson Perkins there. They give Tyson kind of a taste of his own medicine, as Xavier Jones really good with the hesitation, the change of direction, and found his way to the rim. Young man that had a 33-point game earlier in the year up at Big Walnut. Misses the first free throw. Xavier Jones, 65% on the year. Westerville South, 75% as a team. Among the regulars, the high-volume shooters, Jones is the worst at 65. And that's not terrible. That's about an average, what do you say, a high school basketball team, 67, 68%. It's maybe just a little bit below that, but they've got guys like Peebles. Peebles missed a free throw as McCree's 3 is no good. Rebound Medhani took it strong, no, but he'll get 2. They're going to get Dumboya as the guilty party, so he picks up his second, team third, and to the line, Jacob Medhani to shoot 2. Medhani, the first free throw is up and in. 14th and 15th free throws of this game. Warriors right now 10 of 14. Medhani with his first point. 6.9 a game, 67% free throw shooter, hits the second, and now 11 of 15. Yeah, Peebles only had one miss prior to that game on Saturday at Chillicothe. 6 seconds left, down one. Had a chance to give them the lead with a couple. Split a pair, went down to tied the game, forced overtime, and that's when the Cavaliers were able to pull away and win their 11th game of the year. But only the second free throw Peebles has missed all season. 39-21, turnaround from Tony came up short, and a rebound flat-footed to Demboya. So the Wildcats just trying to hang around here. Finish the half well as Jones and again, I think it's Tony this time, isn't it? It's that little hesitation. It's also a move that I used it back in the day and tried to get my kids to use it, that in and out move, isn't it? It's all done with one hand, Coop. It's not changing hands. He's lulling you to sleep with a little change of pace, and then he takes that dribble and goes in, then out, all with one hand. And Xavier Jones is kind of getting to the rack right now anytime he wants. I mean, he has had a highly effective first half in that regard, but what has not been highly effective is the free throw shooting. 75% coming in. They're now 2 of 6 at the stripe for 33%. Xavier Jones, 11 of Westerville South's 22. Lead is 17. It has been as many as 18. And the Warriors come up empty here with 2 minutes to play in this first half. CME Federal Credit Union halftime report. We've been doing a player profile, kind of an alumni. We're going to give you one on the Westerville South side of things. One of their distinguished alum, along with the CME Federal Credit Union Money Saving Minute and some first half stats. Attacked by Tyson. Now left side, Tony Cornett. Backside of the iron, no good. And so down 17 with a minute and a half to play in the half. Wildcats with an opportunity to dig into a 17-point hole. And what are we going to get here? They're going to get a foul on Tyson Perkins. And if it's on Tyson, it's his third. And it is. So he picks up a third with a minute 26 to play in this first half. And not only is it a third on Tyson, but the Warriors are over the limit. And so it'll take Xavier Jones. When you're 2 of 6, you may not want to go back to the line. This one right there. So Jones with a dozen. Perkins will have to sit down as Nate Roman is back in. Boy, that's a big blow on any night, but Tyson Perkins with 12 points in this first half. So 12 of Westerville North's 39 points. Second one is good again. So Xavier Jones with an offer on the table from Ohio University. Trevor Kielmeyer telling us he has a parade of visitors that show up at Ed Kalo Court on a regular basis. 39-24. Xavier Jones will sit down probably for the final minute 20 unless South maybe has an opportunity with, 6, 8, 10 seconds left on an inbound. Racing in transition. Kaba missed it, but Demboya caught it in midair and put it in. He only scores 1.1 a game, but boy, that's ginormous. It was an 18-point game just a moment ago and a foul out there in space. Kaba doesn't like the call, but I think there was enough there. Impeded the progress of Tony Cornett, so he picks up his second. Fourth on the team, so Westerville South had a foul to give anyway. Ruhlman, left side, little flare screen for McCree. He changed speeds, but could not finish. Boy, a chance to possibly make this a 10-point game. Kaba, 10-footer is right there. Hassan Kaba with 11. And don't look now, but the Wildcats are within 11. Kaba playing with 2 fouls. Better be careful out there reaching. They try to go back door, and he threw that one like Vinny Testaverde. Threw that into doubled coverage and threw it out of bounds. It'll go back to Westerville South. Medhani, it wasn't there. 39-28. Tyson Cornett going to come in. Tony's going to sit down And as we said, Xavier Jones, probably for the final possession of this quarter, they bring him back in. Ethan Bennett, today the backup 5, is back into the game as well. Peebles out there right in front of Lawrence Pack on that right wing. Going to play for one with a chance to get it to single digits. Warriors are over the limit in terms of foul, and Peebles returned the favor and threw it away. And boy, if I'm Trevor Kielmeyer, not only am I mad about the turnover, I don't like the timing of it. He's attacking with 11.3 seconds to play in the half. Even if that works, Westerville North is still going to have an opportunity to go to the other end. And you want to shoot that with 2 seconds to play in the half. Xavier Jones will sit down again here. Has 2 fouls, 13 points. Trevor Kielmeyer does not want him picking up a silly third. 11.3 to play. Wildcats are over the limit as well. They do not have fouls to give. Right side, Medhani tried to drop it off to Tony, lost it. Tony got it back. It would have counted, but it's off the mark. And so that's how the first 16 minutes of basketball is going to end. And Westerville North won that second quarter, but not sure that's how Shan Trustley is going to see it heading into that Warrior locker room as we head into the CME Federal Credit Union halftime report. North was up by as many as 18 in that second quarter, but a much-needed run by the Wildcats late, and they've cut it to 11. Actually had a chance to do better than that, but Brandon Peebles threw it away on their final possession. Westerville North still won that second quarter 14-12, and it takes us to our halftime score of Westerville North 39 and Westerville South 28. Coming up, the CME Federal Credit Union halftime report. We'll take a look at tonight's Turbo Wash Car Wash halftime stats. We will give you a look at a distinguished alum, and tonight, because it's one of our, what do you want to call them, sister schools, school right down the road, same district, we're going to give you a distinguished alum and give you an update on what somebody pretty successful, pretty distinguished that wore the red and white. We'll tell you about him coming up at halftime as well. So excited to bring to you all season long what we have called the CME Federal Credit Union Money Saving Minute. When CME Federal Credit Union jumped on board with us back during football season, it was Carrie Mercer, Cassie Gress that said, Rick, we would love to find a way to put some money saving tips into the hands of your viewers, your listeners, and out of that conversation came the CME Federal Credit Union Money Saving Minute. They provide hometown service, financial options that are designed to help members thrive. 5 locations in Central Ohio, including the CME Federal Credit Union at 428 South State Street in Westerville. You can learn more at cmefcu.org. Again, thank you to Carrie Mercer, Cassie Gress, and without further ado, we present to you tonight CME Federal Credit Union Money Saving Minute. Westerville North leads Westerville South 39-28 here at halftime.
Cassie here with the CME Money Saving Minute. Want to stretch your dollars without missing out on fun? Keep an eye on everyday spending, like coffee, snacks, or streaming, because those small costs add up fast. Setting a budget for extras can free up money for bigger goals, like vacations or college savings. CME Federal Credit Union has tools to make budgeting easy. Learn more today at cmefcu.org.
We are all searching for a place to belong, a place to fit in, a place to call home. We long for solid ground that allows us to grow far beyond our dreams, seeking guidance as we navigate life's lessons. leaning on others' experiences to help unlock our full potential. Desiring authentic relationships, meaningful conversations, people to push us to success. Striving to define our purpose, find our mission, and following God's calling to change the world. We are all searching.
Back here, halftime, the CME Federal Credit Union halftime report. Ricky Cooper, Price Cooper, and our entire Westerville North Sports Network broadcast team. CME Federal Credit Union halftime report. CME delivers smart financial strategies, local support that puts members and community first. CME Federal Credit Union, banking that has your back. We give you scoring numbers in this first half. We will start with Westerville North. The Warriors shot 13 of 30 from the field in that first half for 43%. And the main guys that did it, Tony Cornett had 15 of Westerville North's 39. He was 5 of 13 from the field. Tyson Perkins, a perfect 5 of 5 shooting. He finishes with a dozen. They get 4.5 from Elijah McCree, 2 from Damian King, 2 from Jacob Medhani, 4 from Desmond O'Canny. As we said, had that career high 7 against Delaware Hayes last Friday night, so he has picked up right where he left off on Friday night. And Westerville North, 11 of 15 from the charity stripe, 73%. These are the first half stats. They are presented exclusively by Turbo Wash Car Wash. Become a Prime Wash member and enjoy VIP treatment, including a dedicated VIP lane and license plate recognition, which means no more ugly windshield stickers. Turbo's Prime membership starts saving you money after only 2 car washes in a month. Check out turbowashcarwash.com for membership options or to sign up. You can stop by any of their 4 Central Ohio locations: IKEA Way, across from Top Golf, Easton on Morse Road, Canal Winchester, and Bethel Road. Turbo Wash Car Wash is simply cleaner, faster, and better. We take a look at the Turbo Wash Car Wash first half stats for Westerville South, and kind of the same storyline. 2 guys that are really getting it going. Westerville North, it's Tyson and Tony with 27 of their 39. And for Westerville South, the guys that have kept them in this basketball game, Xavier Jones, battling the flu, was out for about 7 or 8 days, had not played in a game since last Tuesday at Dublin Scioto. Well, he looked pretty good playing with the flu. He has 13 points in the half, 11 for Hassan Kaba, who came out of the gate quickly. They get 2 apiece from Mackie Dumboya, 2 for Brandon Peebles, and Jason Mallory with a point in that first half as well. And no, Jason Mallory with a foul in that first half. Rick Cooper, get your numbers right. So that gets us to a total of 28. Westerville North, or Westerville South rather, has not helped their cause at the charity stripe. They are 4 of 8 right now, and Trevor Kielmeyer said, Rick, we need more of them. And right now it's Westerville North that has had more of them. They had 15 attempts in the first half. Westerville South only with 8, and they only made 4 of them. In terms of foul trouble, for South, they've got 3 guys saddled with 2 fouls: Hassan Kaba, Mackie Dumboya, and Xavier Jones. So that is obviously a storyline. The 2 main weapons, each with 2 fouls, and probably the biggest story in terms of foul trouble, Tyson Perkins, who hasn't missed a shot tonight. Honorable mention All-State, 2-time Mr. Defense Award for this team. 12 points in the first half. He's got 3 personal personal fouls. Tony Cornette has 15 points. He has 2 personal fouls, and Medhani has a foul in that first half as well. So definitely some of the main players in the first 16 minutes in a little bit of foul trouble. I want to say thanks again to Turbo Wash. They have sponsored our first half stats all season long with a Turbo Wash monthly membership plan. You can wash your car as often as you'd like with no contracts, no hidden fees. And again, it pays for itself in fewer than 2 washes. Turbo Wash Car Wash, cleaner, faster, and better. Visit turbowashcarwash.com for all of the details. So that is a look at the Turbo Wash Car Wash halftime stats. We promised you a player profile on a distinguished alum. We go back about 34 years to 1992. Trevor Kielmeyer's senior year at Westerville South. He goes to school that year with a young man that was the name of Kajana Carter, wore number 32. He was the number 1 overall pick in the 1995 NFL draft, left a year early for the NFL, second in the Heisman Trophy voting back in 1994, was part of those Penn State teams. I remember the one Penn State team, they remember this, you Buckeye fans, back when they just joined the Big Ten, they hammered Ohio State. I think it was like 63-21, but Kerry Collins throwing it, Kyle Brady, the tight end, catching it, and Kajana Carter rushing it, 2,829 yards, 34 rushing touchdowns in 3 years at Penn State. He now lives in Florida and has a business that works with disinfectants for weight rooms. Played 7 years in the National Football League from 96 to 04, 4 of those 7 with the Cincinnati Bengals. He finished his career with 1,144 rushing yards and 20 career touchdowns. His career set short and hampered a bit by an ACL tear that he suffered with in the National Football League. So we salute Kajana Carter, one of the best and brightest from these 2 schools. Underway here in this second half as we put a wrap on the CME Federal Credit Union Money Saving Minute. Teams switch sides. You always shoot at your home basket. In the second half, they go underneath. Kaba used his body well. Good pump fake. Got Damian King to take the bait. Could not finish, but he'll go to the line and get 2. We'll see if it's King that committed it. He was the guy that jumped, and not only did he jump, he committed the personal foul. First on Damian, first on the team here in the third quarter. Hassan Kaba, outstanding football player. He was the young man in 2024 when Westerville North ended that lengthy streak against South in football. They won that game 3-0. John Link kicked that game-winning field goal. Second one is good again. So Kaba hits 2, but Kaba, a guy that caught a couple of passes as Tony Cornette caught it and dropped it in. Boy, he caught a couple of passes on some 4th down conversions in that final possession and nearly single-handedly won the game for Westerville South. Jones into the lane, kind of short-armed it, and a defensive rebound to Elijah McCree. Definitely made it interesting as Damian King, the big fella, is rim running, and Trevor Kielmeyer doesn't like the rim running. He calls a timeout. So Damian King with 4. You love when the big fella runs the floor, and he calls a Sheets Wildcats timeout with 7:06 to play in this third quarter. I want to say thanks to Kitchen Social on Lyra Drive for feeding the Westerville North boys basketball team their weekly team meal as they made final preparations for this Westerville South game tonight. Players, coaches, even a few broadcasters enjoyed 4 different appetizers along with chicken parmesan, chicken tenders, mac and cheese, grilled chicken, and chicken Mediterranean pasta. It was a meal for a king. Kitchen Social is a chef-driven scratch kitchen that focuses on on executing a high-quality menu at a competitive price while providing outstanding hospitality, food and drink specials during happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, brunch on Saturdays and Sundays until 3 p.m. Visit ourkitchensocial.com to learn more. Thank you, Jess Landis and the outstanding team, the generous team at Kitchen Social on Polaris Parkway, and an attack on that left baseline. And Connor Kern, the official, looking right at it, doesn't blow the whistle, but Adam Barnes, our U2, about 20 feet away, says, I'm going to blow it, as they call the foul here on Westerville North. They charge it to Tony Cornett, who has picked up his third. 3 no good. McCree, the long rebound, looking to push. Cornett to the rim, 2 more. So Tony Cornett with 19 points, now 7 of 15 from the field. Lead was 11 at the intermission. Back up to 15. Mallory with the left hand on the left wing to Jones. Jones got the step. No. King the rebound. McCree looking to push some more. Elijah underneath Tony, could not finish, and a blocking foul. And Trevor Kielmeyer and Pat Palumbo. Palumbo, I can hear him from over here. He is letting Adam Barnes have it right now. And was that the right call? It's late, if nothing else, but they're going to charge the foul here to 14, Ethan Bennett. Yeah, that was long done at that point, wasn't it? I mean, you're calling a block on that attack into the lane by the initial shot, right? That's bizarre. First one is up and in for Tony Cornett. 20 points in this game. Warriors 16th and 17th free throws as Tony splits a pair. Now 12 of 17 are the Warriors. McCree punched it loose. Tyson ahead of the pack. He's going to go uncontested, and the little fella had the hand on the rim as he dropped it in. Tyson with 14. Lead is 18. It matches the biggest lead of this game in Westerville South in another one of those danger spots, and they lost it again. Leaking is McCree. McCree to the other end. They're going to get him for a walk on the catch. No argument from Shan Trusley. No argument from Jalen Hearn, Lamont Tillman, Ben Pack, Lawrence Pack. Some officials would let that go, but they called a step there on McCree on the catch and transition. 48-30, so the lead stays at 18. And they picked the pocket again, and Cornett missed the dunk at the other end. Got a little cute with it. Damian King blocked the shot of Xavier Jones. Tony's going to get cute with this one as he gets on the rim and hammers it in with 2 hands. 22 points for Tony Cornett, and Trevor Kielmeyer says, let's talk about it. A Sheets timeout, 5:17 to play, third quarter. The Warriors have opened up their biggest lead of the night, trying to win for the 6th straight time in this series. They are up 20, 50-30 here on Friday Night Hoops, presented by Krieger Ford. Tonight's official deli is Jason's Deli on Gemini Place, the only Jason's Deli in Central Ohio. Stop in and try Jason's Reuben sandwich, recently voted the #1 Reuben sandwich in the world for a fast casual dining restaurant. Full-service salad bar is out of this world as well. Dine-in, carry-out, and delivery are all available at Jason's Deli on Gemini Place. They are proud to give back to the community and proud to support tonight's big game. Order online at jasonsdeli.com. Want to say thanks to Fitness 19, led by the outstanding CEO by the name of Mike Freight. Megan Freight, a Spanish teacher, the wife at Westerville North High School. We say thanks to Fitness 19. They have shared that scoreboard spot all year with Empirical Sound and Lighting, largest free weight center in Westerville, brand new treadmills, professional personal trainers. It is a gym geared for results. Click on the link in the comments section to join or to learn more today. 50-30, Wildcats into the lane. They stop the bleeding momentarily. Hassan Kaba does it. Kaba playing his final game in this rivalry. Right side, McCree picked up by the sophomore Xavier Jones. Underneath Tony, one power dribble and was immediately bumped by Ethan Bennett. Foul on Bennett is his second, first on the team here in the quarter. Second on the team in the quarter, non-shooting foul. Common foul, so Tyson Perkins will bring it in underneath the Warrior basket. Does so to Damian King, who got the step and put it in. One of the Wildcats tried to steal the inbound. They thought it was high and Damian wasn't going to be able to grab it. And once Damian did, he had a straight line to the rim. Right side, Peebles finally hits a three. And a two earlier, now has a three here, 5 in the game, as Tyson contested well, could not finish. 3 on 2. Kaba knocked out of bounds, and they're going to say that Kaba in the act of shooting as they get the foul charged to Damian King. Second on Damian, third on the team. And so Hassan Kaba to the line to shoot 2. Free throws 11 and 12 for Westerville South. Now 6 of 10 at the stripe for the Wildcats, and the first one is no good. Hassan Kaba, 82% coming in. Fifth best on this team, 51 of 62. 51 makes at the stripe are a team high. A young man that, as we said, took a football visit to Ashland University on Thursday of this week. Still got back in time for practice. Wildcats now 7 of 12. Free throw makes it a 16-point game. Kaba special mention in the league a year ago. Tony off some screen action underneath, and they fire it in from the top of the key, and he dropped it in. So Tony, I think, with 24. We'll confirm that in a minute. 42, 48, 50, that's right. 24 points. He has matched a career high. And a foul out there on the perimeter. It's going to be a fourth foul on Tyson Perkins. So, loved what Trevor Kielmeyer said. He was singing the praises of Tyson Perkins. Just went on for about what felt like 3 minutes. It was probably 45 seconds. And at the end, he said, he's really entertaining and fun to watch. Like watching him, except for 2 times a year. Fun to watch when you're not dealing with him. 54-36. Well, they won't have to deal with him for a moment. And Brandon Peebles just hit a 3. Peebles with some sort of gesture after he made the 3. 54-39. I'm not sure I would be making gestures down 15, but to each his own. Underneath, Kaba got loose and put it in. 18 for Hassan Kaba. So you got Perkins on the bench with 4, and all of a sudden it's a 13-point game, and Tony Cornett, how did he put that one in? Bucket is good for Tony Cornett, and they're going to charge this to Xavier Jones, who picks up his 3rd. So Tony Cornett, not on Xavier Jones, I beg your pardon, it's his 2nd. They're going to charge it to Tayshawn Fisher, who just picked up his 2nd foul. So Cornett now with a new career high, had that 24 against Cincinnati-Aiken. Free throw is no good, and a pretty good box out by 24. Tayshawn Fisher on the shooter, Tony Cornett. Underneath, Dumboya used his body well and put it in. Medhani was coming at him with some velocity, some athleticism, and Dumboya used his body well to kind of shield the defender. 56-43, down to a 13-point game. 12-footer by Medhani, front of the rim, no good. Damian King, and what are they going to call here? They're going to count this basket, Coop, or no? They're going to say no basket. They're going to call the foul on the floor, and it's going to be charged on Peebles. It'll be his 1st. 4th on Westerville South, so every Wildcat foul the rest of the quarter will be free throws. Both of these teams are over the limit, and North turned it away. Again, Jones got the step and put it in. He is so crafty. First 2 in the second half, 15 in the game. Just can get to the rim almost at will, and they're going to get a hold here on the baseline. And this, I think, will be a 3rd personal foul on Xavier Jones, won't it? Or is that Fisher again? Second on Tayshaun Fisher. Now the Wildcats are over the limit, so with 2:29 to play, Tony Cornett has been at the charity stripe a lot tonight. Bends the knees, and the first one is no good. Tony Cornett, younger brother Tyson, JV varsity combo kid. O'Canny will check in. Damian King will sit down. Worth noting as you're talking about football, guys, I'm not sure who they were recruiting, but Eddie George, the Heisman Trophy winner, was in this building yesterday. What is that, 95 Heisman Trophy winner? Shan Trusley calls the Sheets 30-second timeout. And we just missed him. Came up here to do the team meal with the team, and Wes Elevert said he was just in this building. I said Eddie George was over at, I think, Pick North later in the day, so making his rounds, visiting with some prospects, and not many better men than Eddie George. I know that. And my kids like him because they got to ride the Raptor with him at Cedar Point back in the day. It was Eddie, his son, and Ricky and Price Cooper. Get great tasting food made to order with only the freshest ingredients. Why the Sheets not? Enjoy what you want when you want it. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at Sheets. It is Friday Night Hoops. It is presented exclusively by Krieger Ford. They are the exclusive Ford dealership of the Westerville North Sports Network. 1800 Morse Road in Columbus, home of the Krieger commitment. Best cars, best people, and peace of mind. Shop at KriegerFord.com today. Coming up after the game, the Romeo's Pizza post-game show. We'll talk to Lawrence Pack, courtesy of Smile Doctors. We'll give you tonight's post-game stats, and we will select and talk to tonight's Ohio Christian University player of the game. All that is coming up on a packed Romeo's Pizza post-game show. Kaba attacks to the elbow and hits again. Boy, a lost start. Hassan Kaba looked good doing it, and all of a sudden this is a 10-point basketball game, 57-47, with still 10 minutes to play. And again, worth noting, Tyson Cornett is on the bench, or Tyson Perkins rather, with 4. Medhani into the lane, turnaround is right there. Much needed from Medhani. Hit a couple of free throws in the first half. First field goal in the game. Give him 4, lead up to a dozen, under 2 minutes to play in this third quarter. Xavier Jones, Dumboya out there lingering with a possible screen. Instead they go Kaba, their best three-point shooter, but unable to put it in. Looking to run as Medhani finds McCree. Rhythm 3 is right there. Boy, good find by Jacob Medhani in transition. 5.5 to 1 assist to turnover ratio. And you get a glimpse of the passing ability of Jacob Medhani right there. Tony Cornett, the guilty party here. He's picked up his 4th. So Shan Trusley right now dealing with foul trouble that he has not dealt with in any game that we have covered over the last 2 years. Fortunately, it's a 15-point basketball game, and now 13th and 14th free throws of this game for Westerville North, or for South, I beg your pardon. 21 points in the game for Hassan Kaba. Dumboya will sit down. Ethan Bennett is back in. Tony Cornett going to get a breather here. They're going to go bigs to 2 football guys together. Talking about the senior Desmond O'Canny, the junior Damian King, as Kaba hits another one. Hassan Kaba closing in on a career night. Tony has already set his own career high. Kaba had 24 with no Xavier Jones last Friday night in that win against Big Walnut. And that one deflected out of bounds. It'll stay here. Empirical Sound and Lighting, you see them on your scoreboard. They're the official sound and lighting company of the Westerville North Sports Network. Remember them for all your sound and lighting needs. They've been up in Cleveland area, Northeast Ohio, for 50 years. Wedding reception, ceremonies, seminars, and much more. And what are we going to get here? Adam Barnes blows the whistle And they're going to get a foul on Hassan Kaba out in space there. And boy, the foul trouble just piling up for both of these teams as Kaba now has picked up his third. Still with a minute to play in this third quarter. So somebody told Adam Barnes tonight, I don't know if Wes Ellifritz gave them the wrong contract or what, but Connor Kern, Travis Burwell, Adam Barnes, somebody told these guys that they're getting paid tonight by the number of times they blow the whistle. Fellas, you're getting the same check no matter what, so let's get out of here. First one for Elijah McCree is good. Second one is good again. So Elijah with a quiet 9. Warriors leading scorer at 19.6 a game. At a career high, 31 in a game against Dayton Northridge, the season opener. Back in, early December. 40 seconds to play. Kaba a little bit out of control as Medhani up close and personal, really making him work, and he forces the turnover. McCree to the other end, no. And a foul here. And is this on the initial shot too, Coop? Was that on the initial shot or the rebound? That was late too, wasn't it? 23, Xavier Jones picks up his third. This is unreal, and I'm not biased. I'm just calling it, whether you're rooting for the red and white or the cardinal and gold. These are late foul calls. Elijah McCree with double digits now with 10. Second one, good again. McCree with 11. Westerville North now, boy, I'm running out of room. 17 of 23 unofficially at the charity stripe. Takes the lead back up to 17. Was a 10-point game, 57-47. So the Warriors ending this quarter right now on a 9-2 run. Final 10 seconds of the quarter. They're going to play through Jones, who kind of settles for a 3, missed everything. McCree to O'Canny. Roman, this would count. Did he put it in? Nate Roman. The middle field bank is open late on Friday nights as he kissed it off the glass and dropped it in to beat the buzzer. So Nate Roman takes the lead back up to 20. 69-49, Westerville North. Fellas, if I'm looking at my notes right, they just put 30 points on the board in that third quarter. Is that right? It was 39-28 at halftime. They have 69 points now. It's not difficult math, Rick Cooper. They just scored 30 points in that quarter and outscored Westerville South 30-21. And again, it is worth noting, it was a 57-47 basketball game. So Westerville North goes on a 12-2 run to end that third quarter and essentially put the nail in the coffin. I mean, they are up 20 here with 8 minutes to play in this basketball game, and well, that's a situation there. I'm going to pick on Xavier Jones a little bit. He has been able to get to the rack at will tonight. There is the only guy that possibly could stop him and has had all kinds of trouble is Tyson Perkins, and he's sitting on the bench, and Xavier settles for a 3 on that baseline and settles, shoots it early. Westerville North, what they have, 3 passes, Coop, before it got to Nate Roman, 2 or 3 before he even shoots that basketball. Boy, I think of Jeff Quackenbush, the outstanding coach at Newark. He talks about how bad shots usually cost you and lead to easy buckets at the other end as McCree goes backdoor. That was set up, you better believe, during the stoppage. Well executed. Lawrence Pack, the assistant coach and offensive coordinator. Biggest lead of the game now, 22, and a blocking foul is going to be charged here on O'Canny, who tried to draw the charge, but boy, that's a spot there. I mean, you're hanging around in this game. It's 57-47. You've got an opportunity, and boy, just not good clock management. They shoot early, shoot the air ball. Wouldn't call it an easy shot, right? But Nate Roman hits one from about 30 feet off the window to end the quarter, and now we still got to make it official with 7:36, but this basketball game is over. 71-51, down 20 against the reigning Division II state champs. They're going to say Kaba was in the act of shooting. Tayshawn Fisher is going to sit down as Xavier Jones is going to come back into the game. But I'll say one more thing and I'll shut up. But those are spots there that if you're shooting at the end of a quarter, you want the last shot. Like, it's going to make or miss. I mean, you might shoot it with 3 or 4 seconds and give yourself a shot at an offensive rebound, but there's no shooting a three-pointer with 8 seconds to play in a quarter. Wildcats did it in the second half here, and I think North did it in the first half. I think they shot early, 71-51. Left side, it's Jones, and he lost the basketball. They're going to say it was touched by a Warrior, so it'll stay here. Warriors back in action. St. Ignatius playing Canton McKinley tonight. And the 2014 or 2024 Division I state champs will make their way to Central Ohio. They got to the Final Four a year ago as well, and it was Olentangy Orange that beat them in that state semifinal. And Ignatius, I don't know if Anthony Kalo punched me in the nose for saying this, they had that game won in the final minute. You remember watching that? They were in the lead in that final minute, and Olentangy Orange executed better down the stretch and won that game, and then hammered Reynoldsburg in the Division I state championship. And that one deflected and taken away. Foul, by the way, was on Elijah McCree, who apparently now has 2 personal fouls. Here's a steal. Xavier Jones missed the dunk at the other end. See if Trevor Kielmeyer yanks him. I think Jason Mallory is coming in. Boy, you got to make those. Wow. Anyway, they've got a tie-up. King's got it. Back out to Roman. Hit one. This one no good. Damian King, an offensive rebound. Dropped it in. Let's count the basket. He was fouled as well. Brandon Peebles, his second. Team second. We'll see if this substitution's coming in for Xavier Jones, who missed the dunk, and it is. And I'll tell you right now, that's what I admire most about Westerville South basketball right there. Because if a young man did that on my basketball team when we're trying to win on the road against the state champs, he would come sit next to me too. Lay it in. 74-51, 23-point basketball game with 6.5 minutes to play. Off a cut to the rim. Kaba off a screen, curling, nicely done. Well, they told us Kaba has been playing well of late, and he is not disappointed tonight. 24 points for Kaba. McCree kind of breaking some ankles, changing directions, and just hit a 3. 16 for Elijah. 24-point game and a travel at the other end on Kaba. Now Tony Cornett back into the game, and this is the spot they're going to bring in Tyson Perkins with those 4 fouls. Tyson had 12 points and a perfect 5 of 5 shooting in the first half. 2 points here in the second half when he has been plagued by foul trouble. Sat down at the 126 mark. Nope, picked up a third at the 126 mark, Rick Cooper. Sat down midway through that third quarter. 77-53, under 6 minutes to play. Damian King had it, lost it. Tayshawn Fisher on the run. Fisher to the rim for 2. First 2 for Tayshawn Fisher. 3.5 points and 1.9 rebounds as Tony Cornett winds up and hammers it in. Right back at him. Peebles went to the left hand and put it in. Peebles now with 10. Tony with 29 points in this game. Perkins to Cornett, 15-footer, hit the apparatus up high, and it'll go back to Westerville South. Brandon Williams, or BJ Williams, checks in for Westerville South, 5'6" sophomore guard, football running back, I beg your pardon, at 24 carries this year, 69 yards, 3 no good. Medhani the defensive rebound. So the lead stays at 22. As we hit 5 minutes to play, second meeting of the year between North and South. Good penetration and dish, no good. King, no good. And the tip up and in by Damian King. So Damian with 9, and a basket right back at him at the other end for Tayshawn Fisher. So Fisher with a couple of quick buckets, 4 in the game. 81-59. Westerville South is going to drop to 6-10. They're going to go to 4-5 in the OCC Capital. Came in 4th in the division. Right side 3, no good. And a tip up, no good. Battle for the rebound, saved by Williams. And they're going to get a foul, or did he just step out of bounds? Maybe just lost the basketball, and it's going to go back to Westerville North. So Westerville North going to stay perfect in the division. They are going to win for the 23rd straight time in the OCC Capital. They have not lost a game in this league since back in January 23rd of 2024, when they lost 72-66 at Delaware Hayes. As King make that Cornett no, but it'll stay here. Also worth noting, it's Westerville North now 50-4 at home over the past 4.5 seasons, from 2021 to 2026 seasons. My Texas Instruments calculator says that's a 93% winning percentage. 81-59, 4 minutes to play. Cornett the step, and he put in 2 more, and Chantrussley going to call a timeout. And I saw the reaction quickly from Trevor Kielmeyer on that sideline. I think he was getting ready to get a sub in, and not happy with that again. It's one of those spots. It's one thing to get beaten on a straight line drive, but there was absolutely no help on that backside, and that's just a point of emphasis for this South coaching staff, and something that they will clean up as they get ready for the final month of the season. Empirical Sound and Lighting, your scoreboard sponsor tonight. A variety of rental services, sound and lighting systems to staging, backline, and video projection. Whether your event is big or small, they've got you covered. Empirical Sound and Lighting, servicing the Columbus area. Visit empiricalsound.com for more information. Oasis City Church is a multicultural, spirit-filled community of believers that currently meets on Eastwind Drive in Westerville at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. They have opened up a second campus, the North Spring campus, Sunday service times at 8:30 and 10:30. That North Spring campus located right across the street from here at Heritage Middle School and North High School. 9 a.m., 11 a.m. at Eastwind, 8:30 and 10:30 at North Spring. Learn more at oasiscitychurch.com. 83-59, under 4 minutes to play. Romeo's Pizza post-game show coming up. We'll talk to Lawrence Pack, courtesy of Smile Doctors, and select and talk to tonight's Ohio Christian University player of the game as McCree hits again. 19 for Elijah McCree. It's his average on a night that you might say was kind of quiet for about 3 quarters. It's not quiet now, and they're going to get a reach in on Kaba out there trying to slow down Tyson Perkins. And is it Palumbo or is it Kielmeyer? Palumbo yelled something on that bench, and they've had enough of Pat Palumbo yelling from that Westerville South bench. Longtime assistant coach, 38th season, was Ed Kalo's right-hand man, except, as we said, for that 2020-21 season. And technical free throw number 1 is in for Medhani. This is insane. These are the 25th and 26th free throws of this game as Medhani splits a pair. Westerville North now 19 of 26. And give Jacob Medhani a 5-point night. It has been Tony Cornett with 31, McCree now at 19, and Tyson Perkins with 14, including 12 in the first half. They have been the three-headed monster that has done most of the heavy lifting. 87-59. North going to win for the sixth straight time in this series, as that little jump hook no good by Damian King. Peebles, sensing he was open, quickly fired a three, no good. Medhani the rebound. Kaba trailing. Medhani fired a three, no good. And a rebound to Xavier Jones. Under 3 minutes to play. Jones into the lane and good again. Boy. 17 for Xavier Jones. Trevor Kielmeyer is going to call a timeout. It's a full timeout, a Sheets timeout with 2:44 to play in this basketball game. And Westerville North up 26 by the score of 87-61. So just a moment ago, 87-59, 28-point game, the biggest lead of this game. I want to say thanks to Kyle Haskins with Geico Insurance, conveniently located on Sankis Boulevard, here to serve you and your family, save you money while providing excellent insurance coverage. Kyle Haskins and Geico Insurance, tonight's insurance agent of the game. Visit geico.com/Columbus-Haskins. We say thanks again to Quaker Steak and Lube. They serve the best bone-in and boneless wings in Columbus. More than 20 sauces to choose from. All you can eat bone-in wings every Tuesday for just $22. Visit thelube.com to learn more. And we say thanks to Glenn Sports Barn. If you're looking for the perfect spot for your sports-themed or birthday or graduation party, how about a private facility for your private party that has a seating, food area in one part of it and has dodgeball, basketball, kickball in another? Go to glensbarn.com, click on the contact option for more information. 87-61 here in the fourth quarter. Cornett to the left side and McCree. Friday Night Hoops presented by Krieger Ford as Medhani lost it 4-on-2, and Westerville North gives it right back to the Wildcats. Tonight's restaurant of the game is the Rusty Bucket, where the neighborhood eats, drinks, and laughs, located on Polaris Parkway, just east of Cleveland Avenue. MyRustyBucket.com. Tyson Cornett is into the game as Shan Trusley begins to slowly empty his bench. Was that Reem Snyder that came in? It is. 5'9" junior guard has checked in as Tony Cornett and Tyson Perkins' nights are done. Right side, Tyson Cornett's three, no good. Offensive rebound, left-handed reverse by Reem Snyder is no good. And a rebound to Westerville South. Wildcats, as we said, are going to drop to 6-10 on the year. 4-5 in league play. Right side three, no good. Offensive rebound, Kaba, who caught it and scooped it up and in. And Trevor Kielmeyer is going to use another Sheets timeout here with 1:51 to play, as Hassan Kaba now with 26 points in this game. And frankly, I'm grateful for the timeout because it's been a fast-paced, fast-played game, and we've got a few sponsors we'd like to highlight during the Sheets timeout. Big thank you to Roosters for their support of our broadcast coverage. Award-winning wings, pizza, salads, and more. Visit Roosters locations in New Albany or at Polaris. Roosters is a fun, casual joint and a proud supporter of local high school sports. We say thanks to our good friends at Fitness 19. They are the official fitness club of the Westerville North Sports Network. Lifestyles and careers have changed over the years. Fitness 19 has too. Now offering 24-hour member access so you can work out on your own time. Start your month-to-month membership today for only $10 down. Click on the link in the comments section to learn more or to join today. And one final time, we say thanks to Kyle Haskins with Geico Insurance. They are tonight's insurance agent of the game. Visit Columbus or geico.com /Columbus-Haskins. 89-61. Noah Hale has checked in. He'll be at Ohio State studying smart stuff next year. That was Reem Snyder who put it in nicely on the run. Can't remember what he said yesterday at the team meal, biochemistry or something that I don't even know what the word means, that he's going to study and be good at it. Fantastic young man. Has checked in. Is that one no good? And right on cue, that fantastic young man, a defensive rebound. Good pass to Tyson underneath, no good. Good find by Ben Hopkins, but Tyson unable to finish. Mallory out to Peebles, steps into a three, no good, and a defensive rebound to Tyson Cornett. Westerville North, the 23rd straight win in the OCC Capital, 50-4 in their last 54 games in this building, as Hale, little 10-footer, went halfway down, and a defensive rebound to the Wildcats. Fisher underneath Bennett, got strong, no, but he'll shoot two. Westerville South back in action on Tuesday night at Delaware Hayes before coming home to play Westland next Friday night. Ethan Bennett to the line for two, and the first one is right there. Guilty party was Jude Bromley, 6'2 junior, has checked in. First on Bromley, and the third on Westerville North in the quarter, as Ethan Bennett hits one of two, and a rebound on the floor. They're going to say went out of bounds off a Wildcat. So Westerville South now shooting the free throws, and 10 of 18 is what they are at the stripe. Ethan Bennett with his first point of the game, and 89-64. Got up to a 28-point game. I think the spot, if you're Trevor Kielmeyer, that you're going to look back on as Williams got loose and laid it in. Brandon Williams with no stats. That's his first varsity basket of the year. Congratulations to that young man. Reem Snyder, left baseline. Hale just hit a three. Noah Hale from way downtown. And that's a great way to finish this basketball game, as Westerville North puts 92 points on the board tonight. And they win by the final of 92-66. And Noah Hale from way downtown, his fifth, sixth, and seventh points of the year. And Westerville North, the 26-point winner tonight by the final of 92-66. They win that fourth and final stanza 23-17 to get us to our final margin tonight of 26, 92-66. All I was going to say is, if you're Trevor Kielmeyer, you go back to the tape, and that spot where you're within 10, 57-47, you're hanging around at that point, and the next thing, a couple of bad decisions, some defensive breakdowns, and all of a sudden you end the third quarter and you're back down 20, and Westerville North ends the quarter on a, what was it, Coop, a 12-2 run, and again, that's your basketball game at that point. You're not going to come back from a 20-point hole against a team that is well coached and as talented as this Westerville North team. So the Warriors take care of business tonight. This is we called it a gauntlet of games on the pregame show. 10 games in the next 26 days, and there are very few cupcakes in that 26-day stretch. St. Ignatius, the 2024 champs, will be here tomorrow. Lima Senior is a top 5 team in the state of Ohio in Division II. Pickerington Central, always a problem. They've got the young man Landon Evans, the junior now, right, that's got an offer, I think, from Ohio State on the table. So they're dangerous. You've got next week Westland and Big Walnut coming to town. So it's going to be a tough stretch for this team, but that's what you need down the stretch to get ready for tournament play. Westerville North right now, what do we say, Coop, number 4 in Division II? Is that what we found? I think we've 3 or 4. I think 4. Found 2 teams down in the Southwest region. Yep, and then where's the other team? Lima Seniors ranked ahead of them. So, and that'll be a road game coming up against Lima Senior in late February on a Saturday afternoon. But they take care of business tonight against one of their crosstown rivals. They finish this year. I guess they could see either Westerville Central or Westerville South in the Division II Central District Tournament. Both of them, like North, are D2 teams this year. But in terms of the regular season, Westerville North has once again ruled DeVille as they beat Central in the lone meeting, and they sweep the season series with Westerville South here in 2025-26, and they do it in impressive fashion tonight. Oasis City Church is our church of the game. They've got two locations, the one you've known right off of 270 and Route 3, the Eastwind Drive location. Sunday service times 9 a.m. and 11 a.m., and they've got the brand new location right across from Westerville North on North Spring Road, across from Heritage Middle School as well, and those service times are 8:30 and 10:30, so a couple of different options. They're a multicultural, spirit-filled community that is happy to be a part of high school sports here at Westerville North. You can learn more at oasiscitychurch.com. We have a lot coming up on the Romeo's Pizza post-game show. We'll talk to Lawrence Pack, courtesy of Smile Doctors. We will select and talk to tonight's Ohio Christian University player of the game, and we'll give you all the final numbers we get as we tabulate those up on the post-game show as well. But the one that matters was on the scoreboard here at Westerville North, where the Warriors take care of business yet again. They go to 12-1 here in 2025-26. They win for the seventh straight time. They have now won 36 of their last 37 basketball games. They have won 72 of their last 81 games, and they do it in impressive fashion tonight by the final of 92-66. We'll talk about it on the Romeo's Pizza post-game show. That's coming up next. This is the Westerville North Sports Network.
We are all searching for a place to belong, a place to fit in, a place to call home. We long for solid ground that allows us to grow far beyond our dreams, seeking guidance as we navigate life's lessons. Leaning on others' experiences to help unlock our full potential. Desiring authentic relationships, meaningful conversations, people to push us to success. Striving to define our purpose, find our mission, and following God's calling to change the world. We are all searching.
Well, it's celebration time here at Westerville North. Warriors, as we said, go to 12-1 on the year. They win for the 23rd straight time in the league in the OCC Capital. They are 2 games up on everybody else in the division, and they are now 6-0 in this venue this year, and they are 50-4 since the 2021 season. So they have dominated play in this building over the last 5 years. We welcome you to the Romeo's Pizza post-game show as we get set to talk to Lawrence Pack, courtesy of Smile Doctors, and we select and get ready to talk to tonight's Ohio Christian University player of the game. This is the Romeo's Pizza post-game show. All season long, you're going to be able to enjoy $7 off your online order at $30 or more. You use the promo code ONL7. That's $7 off any online order at $30 or more. They are open tonight and tomorrow night till 11, 9 p.m. Sunday through Thursday. So why don't you place your order right now on the romeospizza.com and take $7 off $30. Romeo's on Maxtown Road. Thank you to Jason Cobb and the outstanding team at Romeo's. They are proud to support Warriors and Wildcats athletics. So this is the Romeo's Pizza post-game show, but Jason Cobb, I think for a moment we're going to say thanks to just a couple of other businesses that have helped us get tonight's game on the air. Turbo Wash Car Wash up as one of your game sponsors tonight. You saw them on screen all night long. They have the longest car wash tunnel in Central Ohio for a superior wash and dry. Monthly membership plans. You can wash your car as often as you like. No contracts, no hidden fees. It pays for itself in fewer than 2 washes. Turbo Wash Car Wash is simply cleaner, faster, and better. 4 Central Ohio locations. IKEA Way, across from Top Golf. They've got one at Easton, near Gender Road and Walmart in Canal Winchester, and on Bethel Road in Columbus as well. TurboWashCarWash.com is where you can find a lot more. And a big thank you again to Quaker Steak and Lube on Polaris Parkway for sponsoring North Athletics. Kids eat free all day, every Thursday at Quaker Steak and Lube Polaris. Visit thelube.com to learn a lot more. We want to say thanks one final time to Alexis Coleman. You may know her as the Westerville Meyer Cake Girl. Did you know she recently launched her own business? It's a bakery that specializes in custom cakes and in particular buttercream designs. If you've got an idea for a cake, she can make it a reality. Check out some of these pictures on screen right now. What do we got up there? We have SpongeBob SquarePants a moment ago. Burger on there. You've got Toy Story cupcakes. K-pop, apparently really popular right now. She can do it all. There is nobody like Alexis Coleman. So if you need a cake for a special event, maybe a graduation party this summer, she has to be your first stop. She's locally owned. She's affordable. And because she loves high school sports, she said, Rick, I'd like to give everybody a $10 coupon. All you have to do is go to the Cake Coven Confections page on Facebook, and you'll see how you can place an order. And when you place that order, type in WNBB10 at checkout, and they will take $10 off the price of your purchase. Thank you, Alexis Coleman. One final time, Stephan Family Dental, tonight's dentist of the game, providing quality family dentistry, putting patients first for more than 40 years. You can learn more at StephanFamilyDental.com. I know Dr. Zach Stephan, a diehard high school basketball fan, and he will be our official game sponsor tomorrow. Stephan Family Dental, we appreciate them. But we're in the midst of the Romeo's Pizza post-game show. We wait on Lawrence Pack. He appears courtesy of Smile Doctors. We wait on our player of the game, the Ohio Christian University player of the game. And while we do that, Ricky Cooper, we give you a look at some of the final numbers in this game on the Turbo Wash Car Wash post-game stats. Well, Tony Cornette, what was it, just 12 days ago, right? Set a career high with 24 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals on 11 of 16 shooting in that win against Aiken at Ohio Dominican on a night that, like tonight, Tyson Perkins got in some foul trouble. Elijah McCree did not shoot it particularly well, and Tony kind of following up with a 31-point performance. He has had 3 really solid performances in a row. Leads him tonight with 31. Elijah McCree, 15 in the second half. He finishes with 19. Tyson adds 14. They get 9 tonight from Damian King, 5 from Medhani, who'd a bucket at a pivotal spot. You look at Nate Roman's three-pointer and maybe just chucked one up. No, that was important at that point as South had kind of made a little bit of a run. He finishes with 3. Desmond O'Canny, fresh off that 7-point career high against Delaware Hayes, has 4. And Noah Hale, I tell you what, I'd like to talk to Lawrence Pack about that one. Young man that works hard, good attitude, triples from that right baseline late in that game. He finishes with 3, and Jacob Ream-Snyder had 2 points in this game as well. Unofficially, Westerville North 18 of 26 at the charity stripe tonight for 69%. We take a look quickly at Westerville South, just as there were kind of a 2 or 3-headed monster for the Warriors. Boy, tonight they get 43 from the duo of Hassan Kaba and Xavier Jones. Kaba, boy, Kielmeyer, the head coach, said he's been playing well. Had 24 last Friday night against Big Walnut. He matches that tonight, actually exceeds it, 26 points. Xavier Jones had 13 in the first half, 17 for the game, so the Warriors do a better job on him in the final 16 minutes. Peebles hit some shots late when the outcome was really decided. Kind of a quiet night for Brandon Peebles. He finishes with 10. They get 4 tonight from Mackie Dumboya, who started in place of Ethan Bennett, who's coming back from illness and injury. And Bennett hit a free throw late. He finished with 1. And the Wildcats, what do we got? 10 of 18 at the stripe. A team that came in at 75%. They shoot them tonight at a clip of 56%. And don't want to forget about Brandon Williams, the football running back who scored late, his first varsity bucket of his varsity career. So North led 25-16 at the end of 1. They win the second quarter 14-12, 39-28 at the intermission. They put 30 points on the board in the third quarter. I'm going to guess that's the good news, but maybe we got the offensive coordinator up here. He's happy with that, but they give up 21 in that third quarter. They extend the advantage to 69-49, and they win the fourth and final stanza 23-17, and it gets us to our final score tonight of Westerville North, the winner by the final of 92-66. Those are tonight's Turbo Wash Car Wash post-game stats, and we'll plug in a headset so you can hear from the assistant coach and offensive coordinator of this team talking about Lawrence Pack. And Westerville North wins for the 23rd straight time in the league, and they are now 50-4 over the last 4+ seasons here at home. And before we put a headset on Coach Pack, we tell you that we have a sponsor that likes to be connected with Lawrence Pack. They're called Smile Doctors in Westerville. Great orthodontic care built on trust, experience, and outcomes. You can schedule a free consultation. You can do that one of 2 ways, 392-5610, or online at smiledoctors.com. You get personalized care that'll make you smile happy. Smile Doctors in Westerville is proud to support Central Ohio high school sports, and you got the Romeo's Pizza post-game show and Smile Doctors coaches interview, and they are literally side by side up at Maxtown Road. We appreciate both of them, but Smile Doctors, the exclusive sponsor of our interviews with Coach Trustley and Coach Pack all season long. Thanks for letting me ramble for about 4 minutes. I need a break. It's warm up here, but a win today. How pretty was it? There were some spots that I'm sure that
it was ugly.
You guys weren't happy. What'd you like tonight? Can we go positives first?
Desmond and Nate were really good tonight. The two seniors off the bench.
Yep.
In a time when we needed them to be, they got on the floor. They got off their loose balls. Nate chased down a bunch of second chance opportunities there in the first half to get us extra shots. So they did a really good job of coming off the bench and kind of giving us a little bit of energy when we kind of were puddling along. We'll blame it on a week of no school and only a couple practices with the snow. We scored 92 points. We talked about that, but we didn't think we shared it very well. I mean, we ended up with 9 assists at halftime. We didn't have that. We had like 3, I think, or 4. So the second half, we did a much better job. We made adjustments at halftime. The thing I liked the most is we adjusted at halftime after, struggling a little bit there, and it was only an 11-point game. Hats off to South, who played well tonight. But the kids really took what we said at halftime, adjusted to it, and were very coachable in the second half, and that showed on the scoreboard.
It was Tyson that got you going early offensively. Then Tony got cooking. Boy, he's got a pretty good 3-game stretch going right now. Right. Tony, back to that Aiken game. What do you like most about what he's doing on the offensive end?
He's being a little bit more aggressive around the basket, finishing inside, where earlier in the year I talked to you about he doesn't realize how big he is because he's always been a little guy on a guard. It was just he's getting to the point where now he's starting to use his length. A couple of those drives where you saw he just stretched out and put it in. And doing those type of things. He needs to. He's still hesitating a little bit. We made a call for him there in a second. I'm like, just rip and go. And you're bigger, faster, stronger than they are. Just rip and go. So
there was one in transition that I called it that way, just where he knew he was bigger and stronger than anybody there, and instead of fading he just took it right to the chest, and that's a good sign. And Tyson, good to see him get going early, but a couple of games now, 2 of the last 3, that he's been bothered by a little bit of foul trouble. How do you balance that? You love his aggressiveness, but got to be on the floor, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's hard because you don't want him to change how he's playing. So just a couple of those times where it's just a little bit of a gamble, getting out of position, thinking he can, and just maybe just a little bit late or a little too early with his speed. But this is year 3 with him. He's a junior, and it's the same Tyson. So you got to take it.
There's a cost to.
There's a cost to play in the speed and the aggressiveness that he has.
I want to ask you, it's 57-47 late in this third quarter. They're hanging around. It's a 10-point game. You go on a 12-2 run to end the quarter. Obviously, you get the help of a 30-footer by Nate Roman, but it was more than that. It was 9-2 at that point. What do you remember about that final 2 or 3 minutes of the third?
We were up 50-30. There was a timeout taken, and then they went on a 15-6 run to get it to 56-45. And I looked at Truss. I said, here we go again, because we did the same thing in the first half. We were up, and then they cut it back down to 11. And then they actually got it to the 10. And then we put Elijah on Xavier. Elijah said, I've got Xavier. And really, we got some easy ones where he's so good at picking the pocket at the half court. And he times it up, and he sees it, and his hands are so fast. And he was able to get a couple steals up here and bother Xavier a little bit, who I'm sure he was tired. He does a lot for them.
Yeah, and he's been sick with the flu.
And he's been sick, and he's been out, so that's hard. He played. He's a really good basketball player, but you get tired and everything, and so we were able to get some steals and get some easy baskets and get it out and get. I always tell them, I say, we're defense, but I'm an offensive guy. I said, but we need to get our defense going. Our defense is going to give this to our offense.
Yeah. So. I want to ask you, as I saw Xavier Jones when he was effective, it's the best that I've seen a guard able to get to the rim against us, I think, in 2 years. I didn't know if I know he's really, really good. Is that what you leave putting your head on the pillow, or do you say, man, that's a concern that we couldn't stay in front of him for a lot of the night?
Well, in a lot of times it is, because in the past few years, when you drive, you're meeting somebody else.
Yep.
And we were really worried, and we wanted to guard the arc tonight. When South shoots it really well, I mean, they beat Big Walnut by 23 because they hit a ton of threes.
Right.
When they don't shoot it very well and they have a tough time hitting threes, that's when they don't play as well. So they were 4 of, I think we said they were like 4 of 22 from the arc tonight, is what Coach Pack had on his iPad. So we don't like to give up 4 threes, but against this team at South, that usually gets double digits. Giving up 4 is okay. And I think because we were hugging shooters in the corner and we didn't want to give up 3, it made it a little tougher on the ball. And Xavier's a good offensive player.
Yeah.
So once he got by, there wasn't that help that we usually have.
Kind of abandoning a lot of the rules that help defense.
A little bit. And we kind of talked about that after the game. He got to the rim a lot real easy. We didn't like it, but we didn't give up the 3, so we thought that we probably were hugging a little bit more than, not that we needed to, but than we usually do in the past.
Okay. What else jumped out to you tonight before we let you go and do this again tomorrow? What else? What other positives tonight?
Elijah had a bad first half scoring wise, because he's the one that usually sees it going in, and he was doing some stuff, and we talked about it at halftime. Quit worrying about everybody else with everybody. We had this conversation at halftime, and just do what the coaches tell you to do, and we'll be fine. And second half we came out and we did the things we were supposed to, and ran some offense, and he got a couple steals, he got layups, and he got fouled, he got a couple free throws, and all of a sudden you see the ball in the basket, and if you're a shooter, that's all you need.
Yes.
And what did he have? 4 at halftime, he ended up with 19.
Yep.
So 15-point second half, that's pretty good.
Yeah. I can't remember who did this in the first half, if it was North or South, but I felt like South, they're trailing, the entire game. Just your thoughts, end of quarter, where they're shooting prematurely. I can remember it was at the end of the third. Jones shoots that 3 in the corner. He's been getting to the rim at will the entire game, settles for an air ball, and all I can hear in my head is Jeff Quackenbush always talking about how bad shots on one end lead to buckets, and it leads to that Roman 3.
Yeah.
But I think they did it in the first half too.
Yeah,
it was them, wasn't it?
Yeah, we talk about the fact that we want the last shot of the quarter, and we don't want to take it too early.
Right.
We ran a set there at the end of I forget whether it was first quarter or second quarter, and we scored, but there was like 3 seconds left or 4 seconds off the clock, and in my head I'm going, that's too much time.
Yeah.
You want to see the ball go through the basket no more than 2 seconds on the clock. That's hard to, then they can't get it in and throw one typically. So they did the same thing, and that's how we got that. Nate got his feet squared and saw it go up, and he's a shooter, and it was good to see that go in.
Is that one of those spots where a coach, the only thing a coach could do different is if we want time to get a rebound there, maybe you shoot it with 4 instead of
you shoot
4 or 5.
Yep, we do the same thing. We're like, we go in, and depending on what set we run, if we're getting to the basket, maybe we want to leave just a couple seconds for a tip or something like that. So it's the same thing, but that was a little premature, I think, on his end. And when you're playing in a game like that and you're down, and it's a 20-point game, and you're just trying to get a basket.
Yeah, and that's the only reason I bring when you're taking on the reigning division, that's what we said during these little plays, a spot where I think in the opening quarter, somebody drives and leaves Dumboya wide open for a layup. You got to make those. Yeah. Those are plays that it's going to end up costing you, and they snowball. And 19 teams in Division 2. We'll figure out in a month where everybody's at, but South's probably going to end up somewhere in the middle of the pack. From what you've seen tonight, how dangerous could they be in the postseason?
No, they could be real dangerous postseason. Like I said, they beat Big Walnut by 23 a week ago when we played Delaware, and they're a team that if they hit their threes, they're hard out, and they're scrappy. When you go in, they collapse on you, and we talked about that in film. When you drive it, we paused it, and we're like, look. When you drive it, what do you see? You see 5 shirts.
Yeah.
And they're very well coached. They play hard, and they're going to give some teams some fits, in Division 2, even though that puts them, 6-9 now, I think, or 6-10.
Yep.
Even at 6-9, they were still like the 7th or 8th seed, maybe at worst in Division 2. So they're going to get their chances.
Absolutely. Now, I guess after you win here, and by the way, 50-4 is what we've got in this building over the last 4.5 years. This has been a place been pretty good to Westerville North. Well, you'll need that home crowd tomorrow. The defending, or 2 years removed from a state championship, Ignatius, Final Four a year ago. What do you know about them?
They're really good. We talked about. You've got, don't want to let too much out of the bag here, probably with behind closed doors, but there's teams on your schedule that that stick out, and there's teams on your schedule that you're like, okay, if we come out and we just are ourselves tonight, our talent alone will take care of it. There are teams on your schedule like our talent's better, and we just got to take care of things we do so we don't slip up. Tomorrow is one of those games. There's about 3 or 4 on your schedule where you're like, it's not a talent discrepancy. So you got to come out and you got to take care of things. They're a really good coach team. They're probably the best team in Northeast Ohio in Division I. They've got length, they've got size. I mean, they got shooters, they got guards, they got bigs. They do a good job. They played Lutheran East earlier in the year. Lutheran East got them, team that beat us, but they went Lutheran West, who was regarded as one of the top teams in Division I, and they just played them a little bit ago and beat them at their place. We've seen them play different styles, and it's going to be a battle, and it's going to be a good basketball game for Central Ohio. I think there's going to be some average fans that just from Central Ohio here tomorrow. It might not be a all North crowd.
Right.
The next crowd might be some Central Ohio folks here just watching basketball.
I would buy a ticket if I wasn't here for free. Be buying a ticket tomorrow. This isn't the only one, too. Maybe, I'm sure you got Lima. We were talking about it in the locker room after Lima Senior.
We still have our league.
Right.
It's a stretch right now. We had South tonight. It's a rivalry game, and then you got Ignatius tomorrow. Then you got Westland, who's playing really well, and Big Walnut next Friday in here, and then you go on and on, and then you got Orange on a Tuesday, and then Kilbourne, and then
Pick Central, the rematch, right to make up.
Pick Central on a Tuesday night at their place, and then Scioto and Lima Senior and Liberty. So I mean, we still got a lot.
That's good, right? Isn't it for this team? I mean, you want to play those games?
Yes, you want to play those games, and like Truss said in the locker room, he goes, "This is a great team tomorrow to be playing in a great part of our schedule." Right? I mean, we've played 13 games. We're 12-1, so it's a good spot to have them in, and we've got some good games coming down the pike that we got to take care of business. But tomorrow's the most important one because it's next.
That's well said. Well, it was fun tonight, and as I told Coach Trustley, enjoy the win. But the only bad part is you got to see us and do this again in less than 24 hours. So
it's not a bad thing, right?
I like it. But, thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Appreciate you. Congrats.
Yep.
All righty. We'll talk to you tomorrow. That is Lawrence Pack, the outstanding assistant coach here at Westerville North. He appears on our post-game show, the Romeo's Pizza post-game show, courtesy of Smile Doctors. Choose Dr. Reed with Smile Doctors because great orthodontic care is built on trust, experience, and outcomes. Schedule a free consultation. Affordable and zero-interest installment plans are available, and most insurance plans are accepted. You can get personalized care that will make you smile. Smile Doctors in Westerville is proud to support Central Ohio High School sports. Call them at 392-5610 or visit Smile Doctors to schedule today. And it's finally time for us to select and talk to tonight's Ohio Christian University Player of the Game. At OCU, they believe students are called to be like oaks of righteousness, deeply rooted in Christ, standing strong in purpose and flourishing in community. At OCU, you'll be known as a scholar with professors who care about your goals, known as a leader shaped through their leadership roundtable training, and known as a friend in a community that celebrates you. Come experience what it means to be rooted, nurtured, and known. Visit ohiochristian.edu/preview and see how OCU can help you grow into the oak that God has called you to be. And Tyson Perkins, I saw you walking away. I thought you said enough's enough. I'm not waiting anymore. Rick Cooper and Coach Pack talk too much, but I appreciate you.
I had to come back from
turn it around. So, congrats tonight, man. You got out of the gate quickly, and this team did again. But 12 in the first half. Just thoughts, big picture. What'd you like about? I know it wasn't perfect. It wasn't necessarily pretty, but you found a way, and you not only found a way, won by 26 points tonight. What'd Coach say after, and what'd you like about it tonight?
I feel like this game, we could have really moved the ball more, but in the first, we was being like a little selfish. But then we had to talk at halftime, and then came out second half. We started moving the ball more, and then ran the score up.
You got going early. What was and Tony had 15. Would you have 27 of the first 39? What was working well for you tonight?
I was just going with the flow for real. My shot was feeling good. Tony, he was feeling good. It was just everything was just going good for us the first half.
What do you like about, Tony's had 3 big ones now, 24 against Aiken, career high at the time. I think 19 last week against Hayes. He went 8 of 10. Tonight he goes for a career high 31. You're up close watching him. You see him every day in practice. What do you like about what he's doing right now?
I like his consistency. He doesn't not want to work. He always wants to get some more work. So I feel like he always wants to get better, and that's what I like about him.
Okay. You got a couple times in the last couple games, Aiken got in a little bit of foul trouble. Tonight, big time foul trouble. Just thoughts on that. Are you frustrated with officials? Is that something you got to, as Coach Beck said, they don't want you to change what you're doing out there. How do you juggle that? Tyson, I want to be aggressive and disruptive, but I got to be on the floor too.
Yeah, sometimes when I'm out there, I just feel like I got to get the ball. So sometimes it's everywhere, and my hands is out. So I just be getting little petty reaching fouls and stuff. But I know I got to fix that.
Was there a little more aggression tonight because some of these, like a Xavier Jones or Hassan Kaba? Did those matchups mean more to you tonight?
I won't say it was really personal, but it was a rival, so I was a little turned up more.
Yeah, I figured. So, and then Elijah gets going a little bit in the second half. That's a good sign. He's had a couple of halves where he didn't shoot it exceptionally well, but he got cooking a little bit, and that's when you guys really seem to get rolling. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, shoot. We just noticed that him and Jacob wasn't really getting the ball first half, for real. And they wasn't really knocking down shots in the first half, but he just kept shooting. We told him to keep shooting, and he was knocking down the shots.
What I like about it, you tell me what you think. It wasn't good. Both halves, they made a run, right, and got back into the game. That second half, it was a 10-point game late in the third. You're sitting on the bench in foul trouble. I'm not nervous, but it's a game at that point. But every time they rallied, seemed like you guys had an answer. Is that something that you saw, and how valuable could that be? This is a team that just doesn't quit and finds a way.
Yeah, we know how to punch back. We're not going to let nobody just run all over us. We know how to come back and attack them.
Yeah. I always ask you this. Can you give me another, what are you working on right now? Where do you want to be better so you can help this team cut down some nets again on the 21st of March?
I'm looking for my players, really, this year. You see Eli, he knocked down shooter, and Tony, he's getting his too every game. So it's I got other players around that I can feed, and it's making the game more easier.
Okay. What do you, the bigs? Dez has a career high 7 the other night. He gave you good minutes tonight. But boy, from our vantage point, Damian King just keeps getting better. How important is that? And to have a big, when you talk about making plays, you're getting into the lane and knowing that he can confidently finish. Yeah. What are your thoughts on him?
I love Dame. He works hard every day. I get on him a lot for missing some of the things, because he does miss some of the dump offs, but he doesn't even think about it. He just goes to the next play and keep playing.
Okay, well that's what we see. We see a guy working hard and getting better every day. Give us an update. Ty and Micah, what do you know? What are they up to right now?
Ty, he redshirting right now at Akron.
Does he like it up there?
Yeah, he's doing good up there. And Micah, he doing good at Concord. He just I think he's averaging 25 right now.
He had 39, right?
Yeah, last 4 games. He been going crazy.
Is he still starting?
Yeah.
They're not taking him out of that starting lineup after he scored 39. So good for him. So, and I got it. One thing, can I say this? We fed you guys a couple of times. Kitchen Social, we talked about them tonight. They were the ones that laid out that spread yesterday while we got you in front of it. What'd you like most last night? What was good in that meal?
I like the mac and cheese and the chicken.
Tony didn't leave much mac and cheese, though. I saw that plate.
Yeah, Tony, he going to eat everything.
Besides the mac and cheese, what else did you eat? What else was good?
The salad.
Okay.
I like the salad.
It was good stuff. All right, where are you eating tonight?
Roosters.
Roosters?
Yes, sir.
With other people?
Yes,
you know
sir.
people going?
My teammates.
All right, good stuff. A quick turnaround. Thoughts on the opportunity tomorrow? These are fun games, right, to be a part of. What do you know right now? How much studying have you done on Ignatius?
I watched their game versus Luther and Nice a little bit, but I just remember last year they got a couple guards, so we're just gonna have to come ready for tomorrow.
Yep. Will you be tired? You get a good night's rest?
Yeah, we got to get some rest. Drink a lot of water.
Yeah. Can I ask you this? I know you're not a guy of excuses, but I look at what we're doing to teams, wearing teams down, really playing 7 guys on a lot of nights, right in the regular rotation. You played that 3-game stretch. How much did fatigue, how tired was Tyson Perkins when you got to Lutheran East after Westland on Friday, going to West Virginia on Saturday? Do you sense, as you look back on the one loss on the card, that maybe running out of the gas was a fair assessment?
Yeah, I feel like we wasn't too down on ourselves after that game, because we know that if it was a different situation, for me, it would have been a different outcome. But it was 3 games. We was playing hard each game, and then we just got tired. We came short second half.
Yeah. Fatigue was a factor.
Yeah.
So, you got a stretch coming up, Tyson. You probably know 10 games in 26 days. There may be a couple of cupcakes in there, but this is some good. You got Ignatius, you got Westland, you got Big Walnut, you got Lima Senior, you got Pick Central, who has Landon there are some really fun games. What do you? It'll probably help this team come tournament time, won't it?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to play.
I'm ready to broadcast what I'm ready to do. We'll be back tomorrow. Tell your family we said, hey, we love watching you play, and hope you're out here more than you were sitting over there tomorrow, all right? Keep up the good work. Appreciate you. Tyson Perkins, staying late. He's ready to eat some Roosters wings. He's out of here. He is tonight's Ohio Christian University Player of the Game. At OCU, your growth is a lot more than academic. It's spiritual, personal, and powerful. Like an oak of righteousness, you'll grow deep, stand tall, and live out God's calling with confidence. You can apply now at ohiochristian.edu/apply and start your journey at Ohio Christian University this fall. Be known, be rooted, be ready. I'm going to put my producer on the spot. I said something in the broadcast that you kind of didn't agree with me on. I talked about Ignatius coming to town, went to the Final Four last year, and I said they really had an opportunity and led late. I was thinking about it. They had the kid, Friary, that's down at Dayton, and what I remember is that game went to overtime, and Friary had about a 15 or 17 footer at the end of regulation that was pretty uncontested. Got a good look that would have won the game and punched Ignatius's ticket to the state championship. And who knows? You would say maybe the favorite then at that point to take care of Reynoldsburg, and they win back-to-back state titles. So they were that close. That's how good this team is. Obviously, they lost Friary to Dayton. They lost Quinn Whitekey up to Kent State. He's doing good stuff. So it's definitely a different team, just like Westerville North is a different team, but it's still a really good basketball team, and it's going to be a test tomorrow night here in at Westerville North. I want to say thanks again to Romeo's Pizza. They're the exclusive sponsor of our post-game show. Enjoy $7 off your online order at $30 using the promo code ONL7. All you got to do is go to romeospizza.com, put that promo code in. They are still open tonight till 11, open tomorrow night after the St. Ignatius game till 11, till 9, Sunday through Thursday. Big thank you to Jason Cobb and the team at Romeo's for sponsoring our post-game show tonight and the rest of this run, hopefully to a state championship. Westerville South is back in action on Tuesday night at Delaware Hayes, home next Friday night against Westland, one of their battles for the Ville. Tuesday, February 10th, home against Westerville Central. They go to DeSales on Valentine's Day. They've got that one slated for a 5:30 start. Tuesday, February 17th, a home game against Dayton Dunbar, and they finish up the regular season, the 25-26 regular season on February 20th against Worthington Kilbourne. That's a league game. South at home tomorrow against Ignatius, at Westland on Tuesday, home against Big Walnut next Friday, home against Anthony Kalo and Olentangy Orange Tuesday, February 10th, at Kilbourne on the 13th, at Pick Central on Tuesday night the 17th. That's a game that was originally slated for December 13th, but got canceled due to snow. February 20th against Dublin Scioto. Saturday, February 21st, a matinee, 3 p.m. against Lima Senior, who is ahead of Westerville North right now in the Division II state polls, somewhere in that 1, 2, or 3 spot. And then Olentangy Liberty, the final game of the regular season on February the 24th. That's a Tuesday night, and that's a home game at 7:30. There's no rematch in this series. It's a second meeting here and final meeting, unless they would meet again in postseason play. Next time we talk to you is tomorrow afternoon, 3:30. St. Ignatius in town, 3 o'clock. The North Star Family Dental pregame show. Middlefield Bank opening tip, 3:30. Back with you a week from tonight when Big Walnut in town, 7:30. The Middlefield Bank opening tip, 7 o'clock. North Star Family Dental pregame. And our final regular season broadcast is Tuesday, February 10th. So what is that? 11 days from tonight when Olentangy Orange comes to town. I can tell you with absolute certainty the first postseason game for Westerville North will be on Monday, March 2nd at 7 p.m. It'll be in this building. It'll be a district semifinal. There's 19 teams in Division II in the Central District. Last year there were 5 district champions, 4 in Central Ohio, one of them up in the Northeast Ohio region. They played that up at the College of Worcester. This year, because a couple less teams or one less team, only given 4 district champions. And so what they'll do is they'll play 3 play-in games. They'll call them sectional finals. That'll eliminate 3 of those 19 teams. It'll get us down to 16 when we get to district semifinal action. North will begin in that round on Monday, March 2nd. The district finals are all set for Thursday, March the 5th. Those will be 2 of them at the fairgrounds or the Expo Center. 2 of them are going to be played up at Mount Vernon Naz, and because Westerville North will be one of the team that'll sign on the bracket first, they'll decide whether they want to play at the field house, the fairgrounds, or Mount Vernon Naz. But again, Thursday, March the 5th, looks like game times on those are 6 p.m. and 8:15 p.m. A regional tournament looking ahead ever so slightly. Tuesday, March 10th are regional semifinals at 6 and 8 at the fairgrounds. Regional finals Saturday, March 14th at 2 p.m. And if you want to look just a step further, if you're writing all this down, state semifinals, Wright State, Saturday, March 21st, 11 a.m. is state semi number 1. Second game will start at about 2 p.m. and the Division II state championship is the next day, where last year there was a week in between games. They'll play that state championship at the University of Dayton. So Wright State for the semis and the University of Dayton for the state title game, and that is slated for Sunday, March 22nd at 12 p.m. So that puts a wrap on Friday Night Hoops, presented by Krieger Ford here at Westerville North. Thanks to the coaches, Shan Trustley, Lawrence Pack at North, Trevor Kielmeyer, outstanding, treats us like royalty, gives us every nugget we need. We appreciate the first-year head coach and year 28 at Westerville South. Thanks to Westerville North AD Wes Ellifrit, South AD Jeff Good, and thanks to the guys that helped bring it to you tonight, our on-site producer Ricky Cooper and our cameraman Price Cooper. Turbo Wash Car Wash was tonight's official game sponsor. The longest car wash tunnel in Central Ohio offers you a superior wash and dry, and with their monthly membership plan, you can wash as often as you like with no contracts, no hidden fees, and it pays for itself in fewer than 2 washes. Turbo Wash is cleaner, faster, and better with 4 Central Ohio locations: IKEA Way, across from Topgolf Easton, Gender Road, Canal Winchester, and Bethel Road in Columbus. You can learn more at turbowashcarwash.com. Maybe you'd like a permanent digital download of tonight's broadcast. This will be available free of charge the next 30 days here on Facebook, but after that, the new policy this year, they'll take it down, and maybe you'd like a permanent high-definition copy of tonight's broadcast. All the details on how you can reach out to us are on screen right now. We'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock, the North Star Family Dental pregame show, 3:30, the Middlefield Bank opening tip when another Wildcat comes to town. National Power, St. Ignatius coming to town for for the lone meeting of the year between Westerville North and St. Ignatius. For Shant Trusley, Lawrence Pack, Tyson Perkins, Ricky Cooper, Price Cooper, and our entire Westerville North Sports Network broadcast team, my name is Rick Cooper, saying so long from here at Westerville North, where for the second time in 3 games, Tony Cornett goes for a career high, erupts for 31 tonight, and Westerville North blows out Westerville South by the final of 92-66. Thanks for watching. Have a good night, everybody.